7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
He has a lot of problems.
Struggle to be top 5 in points at the end of the season.
Wow. When you bleach your hair, you're a sellout.
Yo, what's up, guys? Travis here with the Moto Aftermath Show. I want to welcome you guys all to show 304 now. Before we jump in here, obviously y'all are seeing this. We had some technical difficulties. I was trying to do some upgrades to the studio before we started the show yesterday. They didn't work out, and I ended up plugging some stuff in wrong when we actually ended up filming the show in the main way that we normally do. Basically, I didn't plug the microphone in correctly, so we don't have great audio. We don't have any audio for the first half an hour, which is when we called Eric, which we normally do. And then the second half of the show, it's basically just picking up audio through the camera here as we're talking. So the audio kind of sucks. I apologize for that. I know we've been having some issues. We're just trying to make the show better here, but mistakes like this will happen. So anyway, I want to thank all of our sponsors who have been with us here through all of this, and yeah, we're doing the best we can here. As I tell you guys all the time, I'm not tech savvy, so I screwed this up. We still have most of the show, which is good. I gotta text Eric here and apologize to him, but whatever, no big deal. We will be back next week. I will hopefully have either the new setup or everything at least plugged in properly, and yeah, we will see everybody then next week. So with that being said, we're gonna jump into show 304 here, and again, apologies about this audio quality being as shit as it is this week. So later. Yo, and we're back. All right, let's jump right in here. 450 race recap brought to you by our friends at Gutter Works. Always well hung, just like Justin Barsha.
Not till outdoors.
Not till outdoors, man. Rough.
That thing was hanging so low it blew his knee out.
All the dudes that are hung are out.
That's a bummer.
It is a bummer.
So what do you do on Saturday?
And those comments right there are you're not getting a nap for the summer.
That's not me.
You've said
it's your
way
show.
worse. Yeah, it is your show. We're just in it.
Kawasaki, we're just looking for a sponsorship for a nap for the summer. You can have it back. I only need it till October.
You want to nav? We'll get a hold of Yamaha.
I want to nav the neighborhood, bro.
Get a hold of Yamaha. They got golf carts.
I would just
I'm
like
sure
Yamaha
send me a golf cart. Yamaha sponsors every podcast there is out there, so
Yeah,
I'm sure
so
I'm
there
sure
you
we
go.
get them on board.
I
That's
just
where
want
you should
I
go.
just want a mule.
A mule?
Mule?
Yeah, just an old Kawasaki.
Yeah, what about that? Can I get a Kawasaki mule?
Dude, you guys know.
Those things are bulletproof.
Why is Kawasaki not helping us out here?
Because
You're putting Cole in a very tough situation right now.
No, I'm asking
No,
questions.
because Kawasaki likes to take care of their dealer network.
Okay.
So if the dealer wants to help you out, it's on a dealer. Kawasaki's relationship is direct to the dealer. They are the ones that make Kawasaki money, a dealership.
Huh.
Are you making Kawasaki money on a daily basis?
Does Kawasaki sponsor any podcasts?
No.
That explains everything.
The Science of Supercross.
We're going to Triumph.
Yeah, we're going to Triumph.
We're going to Triumph.
Do you know who Jimmy McGarth is?
We're going
Who?
to Triumph.
Jimmy McGarth?
Jimmy McGarth.
Yeah, 7-time Supercross champion.
We're going to Triumph. We're
Yeah,
taking our talents.
We're going with 6-time. We're going to Triumph.
We're taking our
You got,
talents to Triumph.
You got Axel Hodges.
We'll take our
You know that?
talent.
We're taking our talents.
Never heard of her.
We're taking.
How about Chase Sexton?
What about him? He rides for KTM.
How about Jorge Prato?
What?
How about Jorge Prato?
I heard him and Sexton got beef.
Yeah, I heard they got beef too.
Yeah. Okay, anyway, what?
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah.
This
You
is
freeloader.
I heard
Alright.
somebody close to the source said Prado was going to wax Chase's ass all summer.
yeah.
He's a
Yeah.
freeloading MFer, ain't he?
Mm-hmm.
Who? You.
Why?
Woo,
Why am I freeloader?
woo, woo.
Were you fucking home? Why am I freeloader? Because I'm trying to get do some content for a company.
You ain't got time to do content.
I do all sorts of content, bro.
If he gets free shit, he'll find time.
Yeah, I'll find time if I get free stuff. I'll nab the neighborhood
Okay.
a lot.
This is not the kind of neighborhood they're
Do you see me
appealing to.
already producing content?
You know what you need to do?
You
need
need
to-
that, by the way.
You need to nab us into the 450 recap. Bro.
Okay,
You know
cool,
why?
let's
You
go.
know why? Because you got a railroad track down the road from your house. Nav, fucking Kawasaki don't care about railroad tracks.
What?
It's not their target audience. They don't want neighborhoods that have railroad tracks to run through them.
Oh, I
See what I was saying?
Oh wow, weird.
Facts.
I mean, he's not wrong.
They gotta have gates and pickleball courts.
Exactly.
Yeah, bingo,
Tennis.
which we don't have.
And bingo.
And bingo.
And bingo.
And bingo.
All right, let's get to the 450 race recap.
All right, 450 race recap brought to you by our friends at Gutterworks. Always
You
well
guys
hung,
are
just like
unbelievable.
Justin Barsha. Cooper Webb gets it done. What a turnaround in just 7 days. And now we've got 12 points in 2 rounds. And today, reaction show, I was 60% of the way there. I'm 75% of the way there now.
Why'd you go up to 15%?
Because he saved 15% of Geico.
Yeah, there we go. Why? Because I just don't see it happening, man. I've been calling it for weeks that Chase was gonna find a way to screw this up.
But the thing is he didn't find a way to screw it up. He got straight up beat.
Mm-hmm.
Straight up beat, bro.
I understand.
I think he got beat on his own doing, though.
So
Do you feel that's one of the most impressive Cooper Webb wins you've seen?
I don't know.
Yes, but I think that his 2019 season, what he did in some of those races, was the most impressive I've ever seen on a coupe.
Like,
But I think that
like coming late.
yeah, like there was a couple. Stop. There was a couple. What was the one race in one of the races in Texas or whatever where Eli was struggling, but Coupe literally came from like dead last, past Eli, walked away from him, and went to the front and won. That was during the 2019 season.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that was impressive. But I mean, I think that there was more to that story last night than just Coupe being really, really good, which he was.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get to my TLR tinfoil hat then later on.
Oh.
Okay.
I got some thoughts
I mean-
on what maybe was more going on, but I said it with Eric, and I'll say it again. It was just complete opposite ends of the spectrum, which is crazy. I mean, last week we watched Sexton just dominate the whoops,
Mhm.
and this weekend Sexton couldn't figure the whoops out. And the favorite was in Webb, who sucked in the whoops last week and had him dialed this week. Crazy. So, I gotta go and say that was probably one of the more impressive Cooper Webb wins for me because of all the pressure with the championship going around, getting out front and having pressure from a guy like Chase Sexton the whole main event, and he did the damn thing, dude. What more can you say?
It
He
is.
kind of put the nail in the coffin without, it's not over till it's over, but
It is funny because, they made this big deal about the stat and we all heard it. And, I even said in one of the rounds afterwards with Travis that, I didn't really realize it, but, how many wins Coupe has over his 450 career that's less than, it's a second or two.
Right.
And then how many chases has. But yet this year, Coupe, 2 of those wins were in the same year. Indy, and then, last night wasn't by 10 seconds, obviously.
Mhm.
But he normally doesn't rip his start and then just lead wire to wire.
Right.
That's not really his MO. So it is funny to see 2 of his wins this year come in a way that just is not the norm for him. I do think, and I agree with, I can't remember if JT said it first or Ricky. I'm just going to give JT the credit on this one. They were talking about how, though, it did look like Coupe, to run that speed consistently, was a little bit more on the edge. And we'll talk about it, my opinion of Chase. Not on the edge, but I think it was a little bit harder for him to continue to run that pace lap after lap without getting sketchy, whereas with Chase, I think that was the smoothest I've ever seen Chase ride, other than the one mishap in the whoops.
I didn't really see many mistakes from Coop though.
I didn't either.
Not
I was
mistakes.
confused by that last night.
The Coop mistakes that I saw were in one spot, and that was that elevated corner. That's the only time I really saw him.
Yeah, that was just him rolling through there slow. It wasn't really
that,
a
and he
mistake.
kind of tucked the front end coming in, stuff like that.
Yeah, but he was tiptoeing. Normally that's not his thing, though. He doesn't normally, and I think it's because Coupe is always so solid with his race IQ
Yeah.
that when he makes small mistakes like that, you pick up on it. Where it's oh, it's not like he was on the edge.
Mm-hmm.
So let me preface by saying I don't think he was on the edge, but he was just making small little things where there was a couple times in that elevated corner he almost stalled it.
Right.
He almost pulled a
Yeah.
Sexton, and it's just he doesn't normally have those issues. Now, granted, that was a little bit different because you are elevated the way it apexed and then how you had to set up for the corner from the outside. He couldn't just dive to the inside like he normally would, where we all talk about, Coupe can stay lower than everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
The shit that we always talk about. But, it was just something that's not the norm for him. He doesn't normally make those mistakes. So,
Yeah.
when you see him do it, I think you kind of
Yeah,
that's a little bit different for him.
Either way, he was very solid the whole way.
Yeah.
And if Chase would have got to him, good luck passing him.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the outright speed, though, was with Chase. because Chase many times closed the gap on Coop. Like when he made that mistake in the whoops, I honestly don't know about you guys, and I know there was a ton of the main left. I thought he wasn't going to make up that 2.7.
No, I
was
didn't
like, and dude, he made it up like that. Now you're right.
Well,
catching somebody and passing is different.
But I also think that Coop was playing the game as well. He kind of looks over his shoulder. He's marking him. You know he is.
Okay.
And you see him way further back like that. Oh, Chase had a big mistake.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to ease up for a lap or so, conserve some energy for the end because it's going to be a dogfight.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of where I see how that gap shortened up. Because then once Chase got back to the same gap as the whole race, it stayed the same.
Yeah.
So I think that was Coop just taking a lap or two to breathe, get himself under control, regain his composure, and go back to battle.
Where do you guys think Chase was making up time?
That far side rhythm, or the first rhythm.
Mm.
Because he was going 2, 3, 3, 2 consistently, in my opinion.
Yeah, and he could just push through there with his legs.
Okay.
Like, he was pushing through that 3, 3, 2, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that wasn't really... couldn't really tell.
Yeah, there, and I would say maybe coming out of the whoops onto that 3 onto the table. He could kind of push through that pretty good.
Okay.
It's crazy, though. You know, we talk about the way that Chase rides the bike and him being not the prototypical, body build of a guy who rides motocross,
Right.
and just so good about getting the energy drive through his hips. And AC is articulated this pretty well. But, and I don't know if you guys have noticed this, and maybe it's just his struggles that he's had over the years dating back to the Honda with the front end, but if you ever noticed, how he works through transitions and when he loads the bike into the face, he's so good about bending his knees and getting that energy to go through. But if you watch him, though, and I think because he is such a big guy, he can get away with this, watch how extended his upper body, though, is. And, I started noticing it earlier in the year, and I'm like, dude, I would not want to be that light on the front end, though, on a 450, on a Supercross triple, or just throwing through a rhythm section that consistently. But then I started thinking about him, dude, think about all the issues he had with the front end on the Honda. And it's he figured out a way to get that bike to plant into the face, but not loading his upper body down to the front end, so if it does something twitchy, he's just kind of like what Jet does, with the way Jet rides the bike, where he's just really, his chest is really high. So, that's another thing I noticed early in the year, and I'm like, Chase... I don't know. I think it's something that he's got in the back of his head. He learned how to do it because I think those years in the Honda, not knowing what the front end was always going to do, I think it started screwing with him a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I don't...
Yeah. After riding today and having my woes with the front end.
Yeah.
And I'm not even close to Chase Sexton.
Yeah, boo-boo.
You want to use a slacker tool to change your
I'm
sag?
running 106 on the sag. Is that bad? What is that? Is that good?
Choppered out.
That's
what those Kawasaki's
Is
like.
that kind of choppered?
style. It's RV
Yeah,
style.
it's choppered.
Yeah, I should probably.
But if it is squatted, though, it makes sense why your front end won't plant. Your front end's fucking sitting
Well,
in
I
the air.
stiffened it up, and then it felt a lot better. I was soft, and I was tucking the front end a lot, Chase style, and knifing it and stuff like that. And then I did see a post from AC today talking about how I know Chase likes a softer setting on his bike.
That's wild, though.
Maybe
because-
his shit is too soft.
That's wild, though, because that is so contradictive of the years we heard on the Honda. Now, granted, the KTM, different
Maybe his
bike,
shit
the
was too
flex a
soft on the
lot.
Honda, dude.
No, he always talked about how he fucking liked to run his shit super stiff on the Honda.
I don't know.
But then again, once again, that KTM, though, no, it wouldn't be that way, because even then, that KTM's flexing more, so you'd want to make it rigid. I don't know. It's wild. But I heard that, too, because he mentioned that. I heard AC say the same thing, and I'm like, it's totally
Weird,
different from what Chase used to say.
I don't know.
After
AC
my
would know.
day and my boo-boos, go stiffer on the Honda.
Yeah.
The Honda's in the past.
Go stiff.
Anyway,
Make it
all right.
stiff.
So
Make
Sexton
it
was
stiff.
second. We kind of touched on him, okay day, but kind of the end of the
I think he should have stayed blitzing the whoops.
title.
But he
Yeah.
said he was wearing them out. Got him
Yeah.
tired.
Yeah, but
The whiskey throttle
I'm
someone
not.
else.
I'm obviously not Chase Sexton, but I think when
Obviously, because
I
you're
think-
here with us.
I think when you're a guy like Chase, and you can say the same thing with Eli, he doesn't like the rhythm through whoops. When you are not used to doing something like that, now these guys can figure it out, but I think it gets too much into your head. You start thinking about it too much. With blitzing the whoops, Chase is just, dude, I'm going to hammer it down one
Yeah.
side. If it works, he doesn't really have to think about it.
Well, he did have one woe, but I do got to tip the hat, give a little credit where credit is due to adapt to that line mid-race like that.
Yeah, but do you think it was
Pretty
faster,
impressive.
though, for him? Do you really think it... I get what you're saying, but do you really think if it was the amount of laps that it took for him to get that dialed in, compared to if he would have just stayed on top, and it could get a little bit loose, but we know that chasing the whoops, He's fucking one of the best. Next to him, and I'd probably put him and Jet.
But how dog tired is he at the end, though? From doing it.
I don't know, man. I think if he would have blitzed the whoops, I think he could have just waited at some point, and as close as he's gotten, that would have been the only place he would have passed Coop.
Yeah.
I mean, it's easy to look back in hindsight, but I look at him rhythming through, and even now I'm like, what the fuck is he doing?
It was different.
I'm like, it was just, I think that he had to think about it too much, and I think when you're that close to somebody, I think that just that little bit of, that split second, you're thinking a little bit too long and hesitant.
Mm-hmm.
I think if he would have just stayed the course, but it's easy to look back in hindsight and go, coulda, woulda, shoulda, but I just think that if there was going to be some place he was going to pass Coop, it was going to be the whoops. And then you put Coop on the back foot. Where's Coop going to pass him if he gets around him?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, like Cole just said, they're all doing the same shit.
Mm-hmm.
Those two were so fucking close. What did they lap up to, like 6th last night?
Something like that,
long way up.
Like, dude.
The rest of those guys are all checked out, ready for outdoors, basically. So.
Before we move on to third, though, I do have a question that I have to ask you guys.
And you can't ask it.
Okay. All right, go on.
I'm just fucking with you. Go ahead.
How
You're supposed to ignore me and just say it.
Oh, well, you know, trying to be respectful.
Wow. Rare.
Yeah, right? Yeah, fuck you, you piece of shit.
Wow.
Posting
How-
sip photos like a bitch.
Yeah,
Dude, Bones thought that was great. He clipped it and posted it
Oh,
on
yeah.
all this stuff.
Dude, he texted me the next day. He's like, bro, this is awesome.
There were a couple good ones in there.
How do you think, and obviously they're not focused on it, the moment that they knew that their season was over with in Supercross, and when you're at that level, like, you can't think about it
Are we talking
anymore.
about Chase right now?
You were talking about what Chase and Coop's done, and even that little, I didn't hear that interview, but Coop talking about, like, what him and Chase doing, like, they're going to go down with this generation, like, those two as two of the best.
Sure.
And I always think about this sometimes when you have guys that are at that level and they're just better than everybody else. Now, Kenny has gone through his issues, and I do believe that if Kenny, had he not gotten hurt, he would have been there in this championship to a certain point and then maybe lost it. But I think it's hard to not think about Jet and Eli. And I know what you're going to say, but I'm think about if you're them. What do you think those two are thinking about as this whole entire season has gone on, watching the battles that those two, and them both knowing what it's like to battle Coop, and Chase for that fact. What do you think those two have gone on in their minds when they're watching this? Like, do you think that they're like, oh yeah, man, like if we'd have been out there, it would have been all four of us going at it, kind of like it was at the beginning of the season? Or do you think that both of them are kind of like, nah, we'd got to figure it out, it would have been either one of us? I'm gonna make you pretend that you're Jet, because I know what you would say, and I'm gonna make you pretend that you're Eli. Because I'm serious, like, this is a goofy question, but I do want to, like, if you were either one of them, what do you think they'd be thinking right now?
I'm the best.
Ah,
playing
Jesus.
the system.
Oh my god. And there goes the light.
Go for it.
I'm the best, mate. I would have won. I would have figured my bike issues out, and I would have won the championship. Mate. I really think Jet Lawrence is sitting there like, yeah, I would have won this deal, no problem.
What do you think Eli would be thinking?
Probably thinking the same damn thing.
Rubbing his
but
hands together, just going RV style, just going, man,
what could have been?
what could have been.
So you guys honestly believe that both of them thinking that the way that Chase and Coop have rode this year, that those two would have had nothing.
I'll say
to
the
do
same
with.
Well,
thing
they
I-
look at Chase and they're going to be like, we wouldn't have done some of the dumb shit that he did midway through.
Okay, what about Coop then?
And Coop, they would have had, I think, beat on raw speed
Mm-hmm.
more consistently.
All right.
Because I'll be honest, like, yes, Chase is very fast, and Coop has stayed with him here. Chase doesn't have anything for Jet. We've watched this time and time and time again.
Yeah,
Other
I
than
don't know.
they're figuring out a bike.
At Bud's Creek, he took him down to the wire, Bud's Creek, during the perfect season.
I'm not talking about outdoors. I'm talking about Supercross.
That's out there.
Jet hasn't had the same wins in Supercross that he's done in outdoors.
No, but I think those guys can harness the speed more consistently than what Chase does.
I
Like
don't know.
Chase last weekend,
Yeah, I don't know,
gave those
man.
guys a handful.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that's the thing is there's been a couple times Chase this year, the way he's rode, that I don't think either Jet or Eli would have been able to match that pace.
But then I look at it too. Okay, yes, I understand that the beginning of the season wasn't great. We were figuring out a bike. Okay, I understand that. I get it. I don't know how much longer that would have taken, but it would have gotten figured out. And then once it gets figured out, man, we're now not a rookie in the 450 Supercross class.
Mm-hmm.
So we've seen all of this shit before. Any nerves or anything we had is now gone. We're just here to do the job. And like I said, Chase has a mental block with Jet.
Mm.
We've said this. You, I think, have agreed to this on this show, that he has a mental block with Jet. And so it's like, okay, cool. So if Jet's there and Jet's even remotely close, which I have no doubt he would have figured out by midway, we'll call it, okay, cool. Then Chase doesn't do anything this year. I don't think Chase has the wins he has here. I don't think Chase is in the points position he is here. I don't think any of this is relative. Do I think Coop figures it out once in a while there? Yeah, he's a very opportunistic rider who can figure it out. He does that. So do I think he, especially late in the year here, would have still been technically in it? Yes. But I think Jet's winning. And I think Eli, again, is like Coop. He's in it. But Eli's in it because Eli can somehow harness some fucking ridiculous raw speed here and there and win. Much like he did at the beginning of the year when he won that race. He just harnesses this raw speed he has. So for all of that, for all intents and purposes with that, yeah, I think you've got a Cooper Webb, Eli Tomac, and Jet Lawrence battle here for the title, with Jet leading and ultimately winning. Of course, but I don't think Chase. I mean, okay, you keep saying that. He hasn't lost a 450 title yet.
He's also finished 2 seasons either.
I mean, I understand that.
So, like, are we going to be James Stewart?
But when we finish, we win.
Yeah, I mean, that's cool and all, but like, if this becomes
literally it's like,
can you imagine
when James Stewart finished seasons he won?
Could you imagine if Jet Lawrence does, like, this ends up being actually Jet's career? I know we're early into it, but we're really not.
I mean, it would be wild if it'll be wild if it is.
If this honestly happens one more time within the next year, I'm really going to believe that this is going to be the story of Jet Lawrence's 450 career.
And then
you win and then you get hurt.
The only thing will be is it'll then be interesting to see, like, okay, like, what can he like win more than Stu per se at that point? You know, like, can he win more titles or whatever? So I don't know. I mean,
it's not hard to win more titles than Stu.
Stu
doesn't really have that many.
Stu was hurt in 95% of his career.
Yeah, because he's got what, two outdoors?
He's got 2 Supercross, 1 outdoors,
in
the 450 class.
That's it. That's kind of a crime, really.
He's got 4 125 titles.
That's a crime.
Yeah. Well, anyway, yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Should have that 06.
The thing too is, like, Jet doesn't have these gigantic, spectacular crashes. It's always stupid little shit here.
But the problem though is that the small ones that put him out.
Yeah, I understand.
I mean, the one
I don't know. That Hangtown one was pretty fucking bad.
Oh yeah, that was that Hangtown.
I mean, his 250 career, he had some pretty fucking good ones too.
Yeah, he did.
I just think it'll be wild that if this continues to happen, and this is going to be Jet Lawrence's career, because at some point, like, if you continually do it, like, you automatically this is what's just going to happen to you.
Yeah.
Which I don't know what that says about him as his body. Like, it just he's so flexible, but like, there's certain points that he's just not strong enough to withstand the stupid stuff. But you got to think, if this happens to him one more time, like, this is just going to be a theme with him. Which will be a shame that if we lose Jet Lawrence to stupid stuff like this. But this is 2 times in 2 years now.
Yeah, I understand.
Like, I hope it doesn't happen, but if it happens again, you almost got to believe, is this going to be fucking James Stewart all over again? Like, you win a lot when you're healthy, but when you can't stay healthy, like, you miss the whole entire year? Because 2 times in 2 years, or, right? 2 times in 2 years?
2 times?
2 times. 2 times.
2 times.
I don't know. It's just be a bummer. I hope it doesn't happen, but eventually, like, when it becomes a pattern, like, you can't escape it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know.
And then he just retires at 25.
Enough about the guy that didn't even race last night.
Yeah, that guy's irrelevant.
Yeah, let's move on so we get through this here. Justin Cooper, 3rd. That was a good ride for him.
How about that heat race?
Dude, you watched that heat, I thought he was going to win that night.
Dude,
show.
that heat race, he just took the wind right out of Chase's sails. He passes Chase, and Chase is just like, what planet am I on?
This was another fucking race where I thought he was going to win the main.
Dude,
it's like the 3rd time this year.
He was really working that inside out on that split lane. Like, he was good. He was slingshotting off of it is what he was doing.
Oh, yeah.
3rd time this year. 3rd time this year I thought he was going to win the main.
Yeah, I know, man. I'm with you.
He's going to be good outdoors, boys.
Yep.
I think he's going to be better than Hunter and AP. I think he's going to be that 5th guy.
He's going to be the breakout guy outdoors?
I think he's going to be the 5th guy. I think you got your 4 guys. And then I think it's going to be him.
Chase, Jet,
Prado, and Eli.
Give Prado a lot of credit.
I didn't say Prado was going to win the title. I said it's going to be those 4 and then everybody else.
A lot of credit going around for a guy that we haven't even seen race an outdoor race in America.
I'm pretty sure I've watched him win 2 GP titles. I have to give him credit.
I'm just going to stay silent here.
I didn't say he was going to win the title, did I?
That means his paycheck cash this week.
If I were to say Prado was going to win the title, you could be all about it. But I've never said those words. I said that he's going to be in the mix.
5 to 10.
You think he's going to be 5 to 10?
Yes.
5 to 10.
Jesus Christ, dude, you guys are morons. You are seriously.
I can't wait to go back to this and just.
You guys are such morons. If I was saying he was going to win the title, you could be all over everything I'm saying. But like to think that he's not going to be getting podiums and leading
5
motors.
to 10 first 2 rounds.
No.
You think he comes out guns blazing?
I don't think he's going to win the first 2 rounds, but I think he can definitely get on the box. His starts are too good. Like, dude, he is literally the best starter in the world.
I'm going back and watching Supercross starts here because I don't think they were that
Yeah,
good.
they didn't look very good.
Supercross and outdoors are 2 different things, buddy.
Why? They both start on the grate.
Because it's a little bit different when you're going into a tight 180 into a sweeping 180. I think Prado's a little bit more comfortable with the outdoor shit. Go back and watch his GP stuff.
Well, his jump didn't look very good.
He'll be fine.
Anyway, AP 4th. He wasn't super pumped, but he said, well, I finished 22nd the first 2 rounds, so I can't be too upset about it.
Yeah, get ready for outdoors, homie.
Yep.
The cowboy.
Stu sold his boat.
So
To get a
He
new
got
one.
5th place. Yeah, get a new one. Got 5th place. Anything? Nothing? Okay.
I think those guys are just kind of like, hey, end of the season.
Yeah.
We're looking forward to outdoors.
I
Just
think Malcolm's already looking at 2026 Supercross.
Kenny with one ankle and one shoulder gets 6th. Okay.
I needed him in 5th for Rocky Mountain Fantasy. That
Lame.
bastard Mookie.
Dylon 7th.
He's been
He's been
decent.
looking good.
Better.
He's been decent.
Better.
Probably,
Factory trade.
yeah, probably.
Dean
Super.
yeah,
Wilson
for
needs to. Dean Wilson needs to ride outdoors to motivate Dylan Ferrandis.
Yeah, there you go. Joey Savacci 8th.
Better for him.
Better.
Yep.
Better.
Yep. Shane 9th.
Wow, Shane Sin.
I still can't believe those two are probably not going outdoors.
No, they are.
Oh, they are not.
Sabachi said he's going outdoors.
Is it just Joey or him and Shane?
I don't know. I hope Shane Sins gets a shot out.
Oh, that'd be cool to see Joey outdoors on a
He's
450.
sneaky good.
Mm-hmm.
Sneaky good.
Sneaky good.
Dino 10th.
Not bad for him.
Mitch Oldenburg 11th.
Dude, he's just putting in solid rides.
Colt Nichols 12th.
I needed him 13th in Rocky Mountain. That bastard.
Kind of what he's been the last couple rounds, like 12 to 15.
Justin Hill 13th.
Officer Hill really fell off.
He dropped off hard specifically last night.
I think Officer Hill is getting a case of like the overtraining blues kind of thing.
Maybe.
Because I don't think he's ever actually put his body through this kind of effort to try to make a whole season. And now he's like, oh, I'm going to train, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do the damn thing. It's catching up to him.
No, man, I remember in those PC days when he was still a kid, he was fucking eating donuts on press day.
Well, there was a lot of issues. Did you listen to the Gypsy podcast with him? There was a lot of issues going
I
on.
still
Health
haven't
issues.
listened to that. Man, I'm a squid.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, well, near the Hill Brothers, there's a lot of shit that's going on.
Christian Craig 14th.
Woo! Whoa!
Rumors are he's not going outdoors.
I pressed it last week.
Did you say rumors that he's not going outdoors?
Dumb, he's better outdoors.
I don't
Yeah, I
understand.
don't know. I don't know.
Let's, since we don't have too many
I'm
more.
going to press it for you.
Yeah. Since we don't have too many, we don't have too many more people to talk about. Can we stop on Christian for a second?
Sure, go
Because
ahead.
I didn't know that.
Sure, go ahead.
I don't.
It's just a rumor. Nothing's confirmed.
Rumor in the pits.
Yeah, I don't understand that. Like, why would you not go outdoors, dude?
I don't
Like,
know.
you talked
I thought
about how
it was
much you
his
wanted
deal.
to. Yeah, talked about how much his deal was part of to go outdoors.
Yeah, I know.
Like, you talked about how much you wanted to ride Supercross, and then there was all these things that came up, and then you come out and you struggled, which is fine, whatever. You're going back to the Star Bike. Like, your deal is different than everybody else on that team. You've struggled a little bit. You went through an injury that put you out for almost a year. I get it. But, like, you've had more success outdoors on the 450, even though you've never been known as an outdoor guy. But if you want to look at your 450 career, you've been better outdoors.
Yep.
And I'm not saying you're going to get fifth, especially with this group of people. But it's like, you talk about how much you want to ride outdoors, or how much you want to ride, but then you get the chance,
And then you're not going to
and you're not going to do it.
I'm with you.
I don't know if it's a him decision, but I don't know. I'm not sure.
Right, Coop's going to bow out halfway through the year anyway, so why not?
Oh, dude, Coop wants it,
No,
bro.
he doesn't. He doesn't. He can say that shit all he wants.
don't
He doesn't-
want outdoors?
He doesn't care about outdoors.
He might.
He might. It'd be wild if
The moment he gets,
was
like-
up there just battling.
The moment he gets like 8th consistently, he'll be like, I don't know, my shoulder hurts.
Freddie 15th.
Dude, he looked like a wily veteran in the LCQ.
He did. Chiz 16th.
Chiz is just gonna chiz.
Yep.
Just doing what he does.
Just a bummer. We only get to see him 2 more times.
End of an era.
Mitchell Harrison 17th.
Just a solid
Main
main
event.
guy now.
How's he going to be outdoors, you think?
Main event Mitchell.
In my opinion, if his cardio's good, I think he can get a couple top 10s, but I think that's the extent of it. But I also think, and I haven't talked to him about this, but I think if you asked him, he'd be like, that's an accomplishment with this group. You think if everybody's there and healthy,
Yeah.
I think if he were to get 10th, I think he'd be happy with that.
When's the last time you talked to him?
Indy.
What did you guys talk about?
just how he's doing and the fact that he's going outdoors and like what's his deal? He's moving to Florida full time.
Was it awkward?
Was it weird?
Why would it be awkward?
You haven't talked to him in a long time?
I mean, that does suck. I don't talk to him as much anymore, but like, dude, he lives
Why
in Florida.
not?
Yeah. Well,
He's your buddy. Call him.
why don't you send him a text?
Yeah, dude.
Because he doesn't text back that often. He doesn't do the social media shit.
Just keep
Why don't
texting
you just
him.
say, hey man, thinking about you, hope you're doing well.
That's because I haven't done that since he was a young kid.
Do one of those.
Well, maybe he would respect it now that he's a man.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, man, I'm good. I'm good. That would be weird. I've known the kid since he was like 7.
I didn't say it'd be weird. I said maybe you should do that.
Yeah, no, he's got more important shit
We're
to
over
do.
here life coaching you.
I don't need life coaching from you guys.
I feel like you do.
I don't think so.
We're gonna.
I think you all need to worry about your own lives.
We're gonna
first.
shape you up.
My
brother.
life is fine.
We are gonna
Alright.
shape you up, brother.
I think you guys need to worry about your own lives first.
Yeah, ship shape and tip top.
You guys are
So
fucking weird.
I need you to text Mitch.
Do you want something right now?
Text him.
Do you
Text him
want
right
something
now.
from Mitchell?
No. Yeah,
Oh, then why are you trying to get me to talk to the
We
kid?
want you and him to,
We're cool,
I
bro.
want you guys to
Every
rekindle
time I
the
see him,
relationship.
give him a big hug. He's all
It sounds
good,
like
bro.
you guys have had a falling out.
We didn't have a falling out.
I talk to Kev every week.
I don't give a shit. You've known Kev for not even half the time I've known Mitchell.
Exactly. And I
Exactly.
talk to him every
So
week.
I don't need to talk to people every day.
I didn't say every day.
All right, every
Once a
3
week.
days.
You
Once
got
a
it. You
week.
built him into who he is today.
I didn't. Whoa, buddy. I will not take credit for that.
All right. Anyway, Grant Harlan, 18th. Kevin Moran's 19th.
Made him at Moran.
Jeremy Hand, 20th. Cade Clayson, 21st.
Whoa, I forgot he existed.
So did I, and everybody else did too.
That's because he's been hurt.
Oh.
First race back.
First race
No,
back, put it
no.
in. No,
He
no.
was.
Oh, no. Second race back.
Yeah.
And your best friend Benny, 22nd, is going to get checked out. Maybe an injury. You
Oh,
want
that's a
to
bummer.
talk about him?
No, man.
You got 22nd?
Mm-hmm.
He's had a. Hey, man. You know what? I'll give Benny credit. He's had some
Sure.
good rides this year.
This is the first year he's tried. He said he really wants to finish these last two because then he can say he did every single
Is
round
that
this year.
is that because everybody's mad that they keep telling him that he doesn't actually need to do this because his dad has a lot of money?
I mean, that
I
could
mean,
be
I've heard that mentioned a couple times.
I heard it on some stupid.
Yeah, some
Internet
fucking
show.
stupid.
Not even our show.
So before we go to halftime, though, since we're speaking of 450 privateers, and I don't know if you guys touched on this in the last show,
Yeah,
can we talk about Jerry Robin for a second?
we did talk about Jerry.
Yeah, if you would have listened to the fucking show.
Show.
Oh, all right. Well, I
So
did.
where do you want to go?
Yeah,
I,
what do you
I
wanna
thought
talk
it was
about?
awesome that Chiz is going to line up. He's going to run number
LCQ
77.
race.
I
donate
just
all the money.
I just want to say that anybody that watches this fucking stupid show of ours, just go donate to try to help out Jerry because, jeez, dude, just
Bummer.
Rough go.
to him, to a kid like him, and I saw somebody make this comment, but like you got to think about Jerry's progression. I understand he hasn't had these spectacular results like some of these other guys have, but a guy that went from when he went pro to not even making night shows barely, and then when he did start making night shows, he was always wondering if he was ever going to make mains, and then he started making mains.
Mhm.
But you also think about like how this kid got on the map, riding a 1985 CR250, and then
Yeah.
Geico decided to give him a ride as an amateur, and he just started lighting it up and went through all the shit that Jerry's gone through. Just good dude. Anybody, just go donate to. It's worth it. Because just anytime one of these guys gets hurt, because Chad Saltz is still going through his stuff right now. He's got a long road ahead of him.
Donate to him too.
Donate to anybody, man. But like, yeah, I don't know. It's a bummer when we all know people that have been through this shit. We've all lost people, and it's just a bummer when anybody gets hurt, no matter what, riding a dirt bike. But when you know the person and you've seen them grow up and this and that, it's just I don't know. It makes it a lot harder. It makes it a lot harder.
That's for sure.
So I really, if anybody's gonna make it through it, Jerry can make it through it. Dude's a fucking I don't know. He's a fighter, but yeah, I don't know. Hopefully it all turns out.
450 race recap brought to you by our friends at Gutter Works.
How much did you donate?
Did you donate?
I haven't either. But
I know we're really sucking.
we're big advocates here. None of us.
big
have-
advocates, and none of us have. But what's new? So
Maybe we should donate in the name of the Moto Aftermath Show.
bingo. There we go.
Or the world's stupidest fucking podcast.
The world's
Give him a
stupidest
nice little
motocross
lap.
show.
Give him a lap.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
$77. I said it.
Yeah, there we go.
Wow.
That said it.
Cool.
All right.
Cool.
Moving on here. Complete Racing Solutions halftime report. Complete Racing Solutions and Coach Rob and his whole team there can help you out with your weight loss, nutrition, fitness journey there, so you can be faster, better, stronger, both on and off the bike. Make sure to check them out. CompleteRacingSolutions.com. Link in the description down below. Thanks to our members for watching here. Okay, halftime report here. First thing I have on the agenda. Sad news. Baggett's facility down in Florida, bought by a development company. Neighborhoods and fast food.
Shocking.
You just found this out?
Yeah, I didn't know that was
This
the
is
case.
like totally a couple months ago.
There'll be a bank in there somewhere. Or some
Speaking of
apartments.
Blake Baggett, you see that video of him riding the fucking dual sport?
Yes.
Just fucking ripping.
Yes.
Did you see that?
When was this?
Within last week.
Was
or so.
he-
He was out at Paris on a 500
Oh.
EXC or something. Headlight on, brake light on.
Yep. Full
Just full deal. Just
dual sport.
oh my god.
I'll be honest with you. Anytime I just want to just remember Blake Baggett, I go back to 2012 Freestone of him jumping into the 12 pack and just sending him.
Oh yeah,
I just go to his Hangtown ride that year, dude.
Oh,
Remember
yeah.
that?
Or Thunder Valley 2017 where he just went around the outside of Eli and dropped him.
Mm-hmm.
Eli did a Murph workout.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I don't care.
And
And then you think about Red Bud and Ando ruined Blake Baggett.
yep.
Fucking
I mean, those two
ruined him.
had it out for each other for whatever reason.
100%.
Nah, Ando handling out for people? No.
Ando did something with Blake Baggett, and then he posted like results. This is how bad it was at one time. He whited out Blake Baggett's name and then typed Benjamin Button over it.
That's awesome.
That's pretty gnarly.
Look, bro, Ando just had a lot of feuds back then. Him, Cole Seeley.
Still?
Still?
Back then, he still got a bunch.
Yeah, he just, I don't know.
He's gnarly.
He finds random people to be pissed off at.
Yeah, yeah. But,
It's like a New Mexico thing.
so yes, we did see that.
Okay, cool. Alright,
That's heated.
should we go into perfect season talk?
No, not yet. I'm not mentally prepared. for
Okay,
this.
so do you want to rant or do you want to do your TLR tinfoil hat?
Let's go TLR tinfoil hat.
You're on.
I
Shoot.
want to know what you boys think about the video I sent into the group chat, and if you don't know what I'm talking about and you want me to show you, roll the clip now. Did you even watch it?
The video you sent in the group chat.
Yes.
Oh, the one about sex. The one with Sexton.
Yes, so
Okay, go ahead.
maybe a little far out here, that's why it's the TLR tinfoil hat, but Sexton riding off the track in practice, and then he looks up at the board, and as soon as he notices that Webb's on top, starts bouncing the shock. That's like, I'm not a psychologist, but Mr. Justin over here
I'm not a
likes to talk about psychology. Is that his brain defaulting to an excuse?
I mean, you would think so. You're probably not
Is
wrong.
that far out?
No, I don't think you're far off, but I think a lot of people do it. I think all those dudes are a little bit on the mental
Just
side.
straight to the shock, like, oh god, the shock's not working. And dude, carried on into the main, he didn't win.
I mean, honestly, like if you think about Chase's past, and this is not a knock on him, it's just fact. If you think about some of the issues that he's had when he's been feeling it and other issues, whether it's in his head or it's actual reality, like it's always been a bike issue. You want to talk about tuck in the front and all the stupid shit he did on the Honda. A lot of times we talked about this. Everybody did. So maybe his brain just defaults to his even if he's not trying to, he just thinks there's got to be something wrong.
Yeah.
There's got to be something wrong of why I'm not. Because we all know that these guys at this level, we always talk about the feeling that they have, where they can just feel a little bit of energy here where the normal person wouldn't, but they don't know how to explain it, a la Michael Essie. Super bad dude, but can't set up a bike for shit. A lot of these dudes just probably their default is like, well, if I'm not on top of the board, something's got to be wrong. I don't know what it is, but it's got to be something.
Or it's like a blanket thing, like, oh, I'm not fastest,
Yeah.
I'm gonna bounce this shock, so everybody knows that, hey, I'm dealing with the shock.
Yeah, I mean it's any number of these things.
I mean, this is what I do when I ride. Like, if I don't win the race, I just say there's something wrong with the track.
Is that the same thing? With
I mean,
when
if
you
I'm
use your
going
handbrake?
full, I pull over
Yeah.
to the side and I'd see if there's air in the tire, check, do a little pressure.
I always like the one guys that would pull off the side of the track and they would look down and they'd like fuck with the chain and they'd look to see if the rear sprocket was still there. And I'm like, what the fuck is he doing?
Or they get off and press the tire.
Yeah, it's like, oh man, it's fucking flat.
Yeah,
Shit.
plenty of air.
I gotta go back to the pits. Flat tire, bro. Flat tire.
Dude, yeah.
Or you could be like Josh Osby and have your carburetor fall out.
Dude, back in the day, all the Yami's carburetors were blowing out of the boot.
Dude, he fucking was at 140 at Baja. Brawl one weekend.
Blown them
Ran
out.
out the backside, bottomed out real hard. Carb fell right out of the intake manifold. He's just wide open and it's just going nowhere.
I remember Nick Adams. We
talk about Nick Adams.
We went on a whole Nick Adams thing today, but Log Road, jumping onto that tabletop out back, or maybe it was McCarthy's or something, blew the carb out of it. I think TJ Otten did it.
TJ did a lot of things. He did a lot of things.
Sewell was blowing the carb out. Lots of carbs getting blown out.
Travis Sewell has a lot of sub-gram issues too.
All right. Holsterco reload rant.
Let's hear it.
Let's hear your rant.
Let's hear your rant.
Did you read it already?
Son of a bitch.
Who's it about?
Did you read it already?
No.
Is it about the broadcast?
Kind of.
Is it about Ricky?
No.
Lee?
Yes.
Okay. Send it.
Like, why does he have to lie straight to our face on the broadcast?
What do you lie
What
about?
do we say?
Lee Diddy saying that he
Whoa!
was
Whoa.
Hang on.
Whoa!
Before you go any further,
Whoa.
on the Lee Diddy thing,
You can't just throw that out
Did
there and
you
just walk
see-
past it.
did you see where a guy came on Dale Jr.'s podcast?
Yes!
No.
And basically told the same story Daniel Blair said, but it
Yes.
happened to him in the NASCAR world.
Get out.
Yes! Dude, it's...
100%.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all over the place.
So, and then all the comments were like, oh, what's he got on the embassy execs from that party he had?
So do you think it's Lee Diddy, or do you think it's somebody else? That one dude is Diddy.
I don't know.
You think he's Lee?
I mean, Lee, don't get me wrong, Lee's a piece of shit.
Lee E?
But he might have some...
I'm not gonna say the E word, but
Alright, anyways, what do you lie to us about?
Bro, he's saying that he was out in the fan zone, meeting all sorts of new people.
yeah,
you're right.
We all know you are not in that fan. I got text from a certain friend of ours immediately saying, why is he lying to us? He didn't go out in the fan zone. He couldn't walk through the fan zone. They would destroy him.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, Ricky lied too, because he kind of said the same shit.
Yeah, like there's zero chance either one of you are just strolling around out there right
just
now.
getting hate.
Like, especially Lee. Like, Ricky, I could see because there's still enough old school dudes
People
that
just
are
have
just
respect
like,
for him.
yeah,
Yeah.
whatever. But, like, people hate Lee Diffie.
Could you imagine, just like him and Ricky...
Diffie.
Could you imagine him and Ricky just walking through the pits and just, like, the amount of just, like, WWE
Dude,
style,
Dude,
just
somebody
people
would
just
literally
screaming
spit
at
on
him?
him.
Spit on him?
I think somebody would literally spit
Lee,
on him.
I don't know if anybody spit on Ricky.
Nobody would spit on Ricky.
But people would spit on... Could you imagine, though? Like,
Dude, I'm telling you, like, yeah, and it's so I
Oh,
wrote
for
that
sure.
as a rant because I'm just like, dude, we all know you're not out there
No.
talking to people like you're some great guy.
I also think it's funny, too, where him and Ricky, like, talk about how they're, like, they act like they're best buds outside of there. And I don't...
They probably don't talk.
They probably don't talk they don't probably talk at all. Like, what was it when they were during the Futures race when Colin Edwards' kids was out there and Ricky was talking about how he went to his compound in Texas and Lee's like, yeah, I was down there, I watched you, and I'm just thinking, I don't know this story, but I
like
guarantee.
Ricky backed it up too. He's like, "Oh yeah, that's right,
Yeah,
you were there,"
yeah.
and I'm like,
But he said it all like he had that tone in his voice where you're like, yeah, no, totally, bro. And I'm just
you
thinking,
think Ricky had a meltdown like he did with.
I'm just
Nano?
like, bullshit, dude. I don't know. It just,
The broadcast is in shambles this year, boys.
it is.
And
Race Day Live is on the come up though.
You know?
did you hear him call like all the riders idiots or something at one point? There was
Did you call him Red Bull Kawasaki too a couple rounds ago?
Lord have mercy.
Hey, just think though, when we get to outdoors, we get the band back together. Weege and Stu.
Well, I like the rotating cast that they did that one year too.
That's
With
why,
that
Jeremy,
that's why we do it here.
K-Dub, Jeremy Martin.
Jeremy Martin was surprisingly
Rock
good.
Lover was on there. But I don't know, man. Like, I definitely think that was cool, but I do like Weege and Stu when they're together.
Yeah.
Like, they have a good rapport. Obviously, they don't sound... I mean, Weege is Weege.
Stu is low-key funny.
Stu...
Always low key funny.
And it is fun. It's funny because I think Stu, like, is not one of those dudes where he tries to... Like, there's some times where he goes... But, like, I think he's just
him,
funny.
dude.
I think he's just funny.
Yeah, he's just a funny guy, yeah.
Because he kind of... Say what you want about some of the rumors that have gone on about why he did what he... Like, why he's in the booth and all that kind of shit.
Well, Tom, fill me in.
Not on the show.
Okay.
But, like, just... I think that, honestly, like, when he's in the booth, none of it is, like, predetermined. I think that he just says what's on his mind.
I think he sees Ken Roxon, he thinks German. He's like, oh, the first thing that I think of is German chocolate. Now Ken Roxon's German chocolate.
And even the bullshit with Deegan and all that, like when he you know, he's getting on with a jet rant about how good Jet is. Like, it's just funny to me because I think that out of one person in the booth that is not predetermined of what he says, I think Stu sometimes forget that he's like talking to a whole bunch of people.
I bet that dude barely even goes to like the sit down
Probably not.
training and all that stuff. He just free balls it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
It's probably like the show. He just shows up. He's like, "Let's rip."
He's free balling
I do like those two together. when
Yeah,
they're on the
We should
broadcast.
call ourselves the free balling podcast.
There can be a different one, but not this one.
Okay.
Anyway, all right, moving on. Last thing here I got for halftime. Unless anybody got anything
I
else
already
for
got some on my
halftime?
lips and it's burning.
Why you got it on your lips?
Well, because it was on my hand, and then I
you-
rubbed my lip, and now I've got NANO XTREME on my lips, and it doesn't help chap
You
lips.
should know that now.
Anybody got anything else for halftime here before we start into this discussion?
I mean, Mr. Psychologist over here missed our silly season talk last week. So, if Mr. Psychologist, let's get inside the mind of Eli Tomac.
Oh God, I don't know what it's like to have that many championships, have a really attractive wife, and a bunch of good kids. So I can't get in that mindset.
Okay, let's get it. That's not the answer I was thinking.
Jesus.
What's this guy got going on?
I mean, Eli's
Let's
got
get in the
bro.
mind of Eli Tomac during 2025 contract season.
What do you guys say? Do you think that you should try to stay
Well, you
there?
should listen to the fucking show.
That's
Yeah,
never
you really
gonna
should
happen,
listen to
bro.
the
It's
show,
never
dude.
gonna happen. If you're basically asking me what do I think he should do, I mean, he's
I
kind of
listen
gonna.
to the show every week.
You have to though.
I understand, but I
Okay.
do.
You have to.
Let's hear
Yeah.
it. Let's hear it. What's he do? What does he do?
I think he's in a no-win situation because if Star really doesn't want him, like we've talked about,
They
they're
want him, probably. They can't afford him.
Well, okay. Well, I mean, that's like if you want somebody
I would
bad
assume.
enough, you're gonna figure out a way. But I understand what you're saying. But they want to try to keep Deegan because they want to run that gravy train as much as possible. They see what they have with Davies. Coop's about to win the Supercross title outside of anything crazy. So now you got a 3-time Supercross champ, and they kind of thought Eli would be retired by now. So if like you're gonna leave, like you have to leave Star, his only options left are literally KTM. That's a no.
Not gonna
Nope.
work.
Bike, the chassis will not work for him, and he doesn't want that freaking hydraulic clutch. Triumph is not ready, and Ducati doesn't have the money right off the bat for somebody like him.
They're all hydraulic clutches, too.
Yeah, so like, what are you going to do? I think that for the first time in Eli's career, which is crazy to think, you're talking about a guy that is as successful as him, still can go out and win races. For fuck's sake, he won a race earlier this year in Supercross, and was in it until he got hurt. He's in a no-win situation if he ends up off that Star Yamaha.
So I asked him this, and I'll ask you, what's his mindset? If his mindset's, oh, I can still go win, can he go in and ask for a bonus-only structure, Carmichael style?
He's got to, because he's not going to get paid salary.
Or is he like, oh shit, I need some more money? Which I don't know how you would need more money, but fuck.
I feel like he would have to go in and ask for just bonus. But that's the problem though too, because if they're really looking to spend that much money with those three dudes, but I don't think Coop's going to be racing that much longer. But then again, you look at Eli, that could cost them a lot of money too, because you're talking about a guy that can win at any moment. So like, what do you think is like $100K a win, maybe $100K a win?
I mean, standard's 100 to 150.
All right,
so
so
if you're going
100K.
in at bonus only, you got to ask for more to make it worth your while.
But I think Eli's money is not the biggest. He wants to get paid, but I don't think that he's like that's my biggest motivator.
Yeah, but if he wants to, if money wasn't the motivator, then he'd just ride it just to do it. Even if they were like, yeah, we can only give you this and bonuses, like standard bonuses or whatever.
I said,
I don't think we'd be having this conversation.
Then they're
because
still not
I
gonna
don't
be able to
think there'd
afford
be
it.
an issue.
well, here's another thing I said, too, is the Factor Yamaha squad, Yamaha Direct is
Yeah.
paying those salaries.
Yeah,
Clippy Moseman, what's he making?
dude, I think Moseman's probably.
Here we go. We were trying to do it last week, and I told them there wasn't enough
There
money.
wasn't
in the
enough money to
250
go
guys.
around, but it would maybe get close. I don't know.
Moseman's probably at 75.
You start Clippy in 250 guys. Get as much money as you can.
So you get rid of Moseman, Dax. You're not obviously Deegan's the 450.
Get rid of a couple amateur guys.
You got to. I mean, you got Dudney right now, and you got
Manier.
Yeah,
and
Manier.
Send them
Well,
all back
they're
to
not going
club,
to get.
give them back to Daniel.
They're not going to get rid of Manier. But they get rid of Carson Wood. He's another kid.
And then Bobby goes back and refinances one of his car dealerships, and boom.
I think also you got to get rid of Christian. I hate saying that, but you got to get rid of Christian.
Christian's gonna be riding for free anyway.
You got to do something. I mean, if you're looking at your 450 dudes are going to be Jay Coop, Eli, and Deegan, and you're not
The
going to
only
have Cole
way-
Davies.
The only way they can make it work is to bring it out of the 250 side.
All right. So then
So how many properties does Bobby refi?
Dude, he's got to do something, man, because like I think it'd be stupid to get rid of Eli. And Eli, honestly, believe if he has to leave Star, I think he should just retire. Because him on a KTM, I hate to say this for all the KTM fans out there, that relationship is not going to work. That bike is total opposite of everything Eli. It would not work.
They got to be looking into insurance policies, stuff like Chad Reed style to pay out too. No,
I mean, yeah, you would have to think. You would have to think they
would
would.
have to think they're exploring those options. Like that's all Roxon was on at RCH.
But KTM, right, is like the only option. Like, that's it. Like, it's either Star or KTM. There's nobody else. Ducati can't work. Triumph's definitely not going to work. There's nobody else. Like, Suzuki, as much as we joke around, as cool as that would be, that's not a thing.
Unless the Lawrences are like, hey, let's bring him over.
No.
Why do you say no?
No way.
Okay, let's have a conversation about that, too.
Here we go. He's got to tie Jen into it somehow.
No. Because remember, what did he say? We talked about this last week, right?
Mm-hmm.
What did he say? He said, Jet and Hunter can't affect who is on, what's it called? Who's on the Honda team.
Oh, you're talking about the quad lock Honda team.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. You know, Shimoda's going off Honda, right?
Yeah, I know, he's leaving.
You know why?
Well, he doesn't want to be on the team anymore. There's been this
Lucas Myrtle represents him.
I think also Joe's wanted to leave too. I think it's a amount of things. He hasn't gotten along with the Lawrences in a long time. Why would he want to continue to stay on the team? Chance is down to the dog pound. He's not there.
But what's the common denominator?
Lucas Myrtle.
Do you all honestly think that Joe also made the decision that he wants to leave Honda as well? Not just I'm not saying that's wrong.
They were like, hey, you still work with him. We won't even offer you.
But you also don't think, though, Joe wanted to leave on his own volition? You think Joe wanted to continue to stay there?
Where?
He's going to go to Triumph, probably.
Oh, yeah, great move.
Better than dealing with people you don't want to deal with.
Look, man, from what I've heard, it's a leaving thing because management is not happy that he is still represented.
So what does this have to do with Eli? What does this have to do with Eli?
Yeah.
Tying this back in to the Lawrences can make whatever happen at Honda they want.
I think Eli and Joe Shimoda are a little bit different. Joe Shimoda asked for I don't know how much money as opposed to Eli.
But they'll be like,
are you going to be like Jet Hunter?
We should bring Macas in here.
Are they also going to go, hey, Jet Hunter, you have to take a pay cut? And they'll be like, nah, we were just kidding.
Hang on, another one. Another one here.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't see how you're tying this back to Eli. That was stupid. Shut your mouth.
Yeah. Such a fucking liar.
Yeah, that was the dumbest.
Anytime he wants to fucking gurgle Jet's nuts.
Yeah.
Every time.
Lawrences can make anything.
Swear to God.
Dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
Who goes to the Honda spot?
That's why this is the stupidest motocross show.
Are you talking about, does this go back to the comment that was made on the 250 thing?
Gets Joe's spot?
I was thinking about this too.
Tell me,
No, but
Justin.
I don't think anybody does. I think Chance does, and that's it. And the only reason because Chance rides down to the dog pound and they're all buddy-buddy.
I think Colin Park gets in there because he's at the dog pound
No.
buddy-buddying.
I honestly believe that they probably don't hire another person.
Park.
And then you know what really, really sucks? And somebody, because I know you read this, made the comment when you guys had this conversation. Anybody until Jet and Hunter leave, it's a death sentence to go to the Honda squad as a 250 rider because you're not going any further than that. Because Chance, once he goes to the 450, see ya. You're done.
You're done.
Why would anybody want to? Honestly, as much as I'm a Honda guy, going to the Honda as a 250 guy is the dumbest move you could make. What do you get out of it? Nothing.
Kick some budget over to Phoenix. It sounds like that's a pretty well-run program. Holy
Shots fired.
Give it to Uribe.
They should give Uribe more money.
They should.
All right, let's move on here. Let's go into perfect season talk here.
Jesus Christ. I feel like
This is going to take way too long.
No, I'm just not going to say anything.
I don't even think I want to do this.
I'm just not even going to say anything. I'm going to let him gurgle Jeff's nuts. And I'm gonna be like, I don't even think you're right.
Okay, pull out the little pieces of data that you think you're going to...
Look, here's the only thing I'm going to go to, right? So he totaled up...
I'm going to go...
He totaled up... Look, hey, you fucking liberal. You want to fucking...
You just called me a liberal.
Yeah. Oh, I fucking feel it. Okay, fine. Except for, I believe if we rewind the tape, it was, the fucking numbers. The fucking numbers. The fucking numbers. Okay, well, I'm looking at the numbers.
Okay.
I'm looking at the numbers. So are you going off feelings or numbers? Are you fucking
Hang on, I'm
liberal
unbiased.
retard?
I haven't even looked at the numbers here. Let me look at
Are you a liberal retard or are we going by
First
fucking
off,
facts?
calling me a liberal is a little bit too far.
No, we're being aggressive about this.
All right, so here we go. Where do you want to
First
start?
I wanted to go to just total numbers.
Hey,
That's all I
man,
wanted to
anybody
go
who
to.
Jet Lawrence.
Okay, anybody whoever did this, shout out to you, man. But like,
Riles.
I don't know how
Riles
the fuck.
_100.
I don't know how the
Dude,
fuck
send
you
it
found
to
this
me the
out.
next day.
Look, he ranked them.
But I think you got.
I'm telling you.
I think you got to find. I think you got to find some other stuff to do, buddy. This
This is awesome. This is exactly.
He ranked perfect season. So his perfect season rank based on data.
Jet. Is that what we're talking about? Okay.
Because
What?
this is why.
Okay.
Just go with the wins podiums. The final.
D. Land Ferrandis.
Okay.
Second points.
Yep.
5 lights Supercross wins. 11.
Scroll all the way over to the right. Just
Shut
run
up.
totals.
The only other dude out there outside of he was only due to have a 450 title.
Okay, so 20 wins.
Okay.
53 podiums.
Are you talking about total, like in his career?
Correct.
Okay.
And 4 titles. Dylan Ferrandis.
Okay, yep. 3 250,
Okay,
1 450.
Aaron Plessinger, 15 wins, 44 podiums. Wow, that's quite a bit. And 2 titles.
Okay. Does it say how many each one were?
Chase Sexton.
Okay.
What do you mean?
Does it say in there how many of those were on a 250 as opposed to a 450?
Oh yeah, that
we can break that down.
I was gonna say.
We can
I
go
was
that
trying
far.
to not.
Where do you want to go? Where do you want to go?
I mean, it doesn't really matter. Like,
What counts more to you, Premier?
well, clearly the 450 stuff is going to count more.
Okay. Well, if you want to go into Premier, then all the Ricky fields really are way lower. So let's see. Chase Sexton in that field, 19 wins, 68 podiums, 3 titles. Okay. Adam Cincerillo,
Had one good season
20
outdoors
wins.
on a 450.
20 wins, 51 podiums, 1 title.
Okay. Literally. 20.
Wow. Garrett Marchbanks made the cut. You know why?
Why?
1 win, 4 podiums, and 0 titles. Marchbanks probably could have got left out.
Marchbank should have got
But
left out.
total in the field, 75 wins, 220 podiums, and 10 titles on that gate.
Okay. And a lot of them were 250s.
Richard Carmichael.
Okay.
Okay. 2004.
Yep.
Second perfect season.
Yep.
Chad Reed.
Okay.
0 wins, 58 podiums, 2 titles.
Okay.
This has got to be outdoor wins that it's counting, right? Just outdoor.
He's got it.
Has to
covered.
be, yeah.
But he's counting Supercross and out titles.
I don't know.
Yeah, you would be, because if you gave Dylan 4 titles, he only got one. He only got one.
But this is probably at the time of the season.
Okay.
This is at the time of the season.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because he got wins in 09. Chad
Yeah.
Reed did. Anyway.
Yeah, he won a title. No.
Okay. Kevin Windham.
Okay.
Kevin Windmill. 31 wins.
Yep.
Wow, 31 wins. 96 podiums.
Mhm.
2 titles.
Okay.
Le Cobra.
Okay.
14 wins.
Yep.
55 podiums.
I didn't even realize he had 14 wins. Damn.
Yeah.
It's actually impressive.
55 podiums.
Mhm.
That's pretty impressive.
That's impressive too.
0 titles.
Yep.
Whack, whack, whack. Ernesto Fonseca.
Okay.
Or some people would call him Fonseca. Wins.
Fuck
12.
those people.
12 wins.
Dude, he was good. Wow, those probably were a lot of the 125
That
days.
is.
Those were probably a lot of the
Yeah, he didn't
125
get a
days.
Premier SX win. He's got 10 Premier podiums, though.
No, he was good.
5 Premier MX podiums.
Had factory rides for a
Pretty
reason.
good. Pretty
Mhm.
good. 2 titles.
Okay.
Michael the Burner made it in here.
Yep.
Oh, it's going down to 6 in points, is what it's doing. 0 wins, 4 podiums, 0 titles. So,
I already can find something wrong with this right off the bat.
here we go. So total wins,
Mhm.
Jet season, 75 on the gate,
Mhm.
220 podiums on the gate,
Mhm.
and 10 titles on
Mhm.
the gate.
Okay.
Ricky's perfect season, there were 6 titles on the gate, 248 podiums, so we're winning on podium.
Mhm.
57 wins.
Do you want me to go off, or are you going to go through this whole entire thing before I can make my argument? Because this is going to take a long time.
Okay, well, do you want to go to your boy James Stewart's season because it's ranked 4th?
Yeah, I understand it's going to be ranked 4th,
Okay.
but in my opinion,
Okay, let's hear why it's flawed. That's all. I don't.
all right. So you talked about those guys right there, right? Numbers do not lie. Numbers do not lie.
Looking at the numbers.
Let me ask you a question.
Do you want the ball doesn't
Let me
lie.
ask you a question, because
Okay,
you're
ask
there
it.
to watch it.
Ask me.
Who's a better rider, Garrett Marchbanks or Michael Byrne?
I mean, dude, maybe
Who's a better rider, Garrett Marchbanks or David Villeman?
David Villeman is better than Garrett Marchbanks. But
Is there
David
also-
Villeman is ranked what? What place did he get?
He was third.
Third on there.
Yeah,
So
third.
who's third in the Jet season?
Chase Sexton.
Okay, so is Chase Sexton better than David Villeman?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, is Garrett Marchbanks better than Ernesto Fonseca?
Where's Ernesto Fonseca ranked?
He is 5th.
5th.
Adam Cianciarillo.
I would say Ernesto Fonseca had a better career than Adam Cincerillo.
Okay.
On a premier bike, yes, because AC literally only had one good 450 season, and that was the 2020 COVID season.
I would agree.
All right, but then the reason why, when we went over this, why I feel like this conversation doesn't matter again, we went over and we went back.
Oh, hold on, pause though, because if you go to Ernie versus AC, okay, it's kind of splitting hairs
Pretty
here.
close.
So Ernie had 10 SX podiums,
Mhm.
Premier class. to AC's 4.
That's not close.
But then, hold on. But then you go to Premier MX wins. Ernie's got none. AC has 2. Ernie has 5 podiums. AC has 9.
And y'all did it in one fucking season. Ernie did it spread out through his career.
I'm just saying.
When you do it one time, it doesn't make it as impressive.
Okay, well, the numbers say Jet Lawrence had a better season. Sorry.
And once again, what about the secondary riders? We didn't even have Tim Ferry on there.
Yeah, where's Tim Ferry?
Exactly. Like the fact that you look, this guy, I get it, the numbers, but this is why.
Okay, so Tim Ferry or Garrett Marshall?
Tim Ferry, clearly.
Tim Ferry here.
I'd say Garrett Marshbanks has Tim Ferry
For
back in the day.
Are you going to say
which season? Which season do you want Timmy for?
I'm talking about his whole entire career.
Okay, well, I'm just looking at.
I ain't got time for that.
I don't either. Like this is a dumb conversation.
I mean, I think it's a great conversation.
I don't think it is
people
because
like talking about
because we don't have enough time to talk about this. The reason why I also don't believe the Jets season is because after you go back from 5th, there was nobody there. There was literally nobody there. If you take the secondary riders after 5th place and you put
there
them
was nobody there. Only 5 guys lined up on the
exactly, only 5 relevant dudes lined up. And no offense to Derek Drake, but Derek Drake is not beating the guys that were beyond 5th back in the day. His career is not better than those guys.
I mean, laid out in the top 6.
Are you taking Michael Lessie over that?
It all looks pretty relevant to me. Of like guys who are really good, but like. Then
So
when
you think Derek Drake has had a better season than Tim?
I'm talking at the guys. I'm looking at the numbers here, bro.
Let me throw this one in there, and I'm going to help Justin a little here.
I don't even need any help because it's just my opinion.
I'm going to throw him a bone.
It's fine. He's in his feelings.
In Jet's perfect season, Chase didn't ride the whole season.
Okay, well that's fine. He still finished 3rd in points without riding the whole season.
And that tells you another thing too.
So,
that goes in my favor.
Another feather in his
That goes in
cap.
my favor, dude. You can ride, you can miss rounds and still get 3rd in the points.
I mean,
hey, everybody out there,
I go down here and look at wins, podiums, and titles, man.
Hey,
and
also,
it's just not even
you should
close
click this on
compared to that
YouTube and
season.
just this conversation.
I will. In
And
fact,
also, a lot of those are on 250s. A lot of those wins were on 250s.
Gypsy up because Gypsy likes to talk about this too, and I want to send him this spreadsheet because I think he'd find it enjoyable also.
It's very interesting, but to me,
Look, I'm not gonna lie. When we had this conversation a couple weeks ago, and you started bringing up the guys that were beyond that or whatever, I was like, okay, yeah, he's right. Like, there's a lot of names there that you know. Then, okay, how many of these guys that we're talking about right now are we going to know in future years and go, oh, yeah, I remember him? Because when you break this down even just to these top 6 that he's got in here, right, okay, you get to the second ranked one, which is Ricky's 04 season. Chad Reed, obviously legend. Wyndham, legend. Villeman, legend. Villeman's a bigger legend for me, and I know his racing career was good, but he's a bigger legend for me due to Paul.
And that's the difference.
Because
I'm not going to remember some of these guys in 20 years, and I've already been through 20
Ernesto
years.
Fonseca, okay. Michael Byrne, again, I knew Michael Byrne rode, and he was legit, but I didn't know how legit.
Yeah, he was just there. He only had factory rides his entire career.
Well, but I'm just saying, okay, so did fucking Brock Tickle.
Brock Tickle also won titles. I would put Brock Tickle over Garrett Marchbanks.
So, like...
Also failed the drug test.
Yeah, he also failed the drug test. So did Davey Millsaps.
Then you get down here to, like, Ricky's first perfect season, okay? Ferry, yep. Lusk, yep. Tortelli, yep. Kyle Lewis.
Yeah, Ezra Lusk. Like, holy fuck.
Kyle Lewis.
No offense. Ryan Villapoto's season to me in 2013, his outdoor season, even though it undefeated, was better than Jets. Because you look at the guys that he raced in 2013 are better than the dudes.
Did you just say Ryan Villapoto's undefeated season?
No, his outdoor season. I didn't say his undefeated season. I said his outdoor season.
I was like, what fucking planet are you
I said his outdoor season, even though it wasn't undefeated.
Anyway.
But
hey, Mr. Whoever put this together, let's do Ken Roxon's 22-0 run versus Jet Lawrence's 22-0.
Well, his is already gonna be better.
Roxon?
When you think about the dudes that he was racing.
I mean,
Ryan Dungey.
The real thing...
Automatically, right off the bat, that beats everybody Jet beat.
The real thing that really stands out to me is the amount of titles in Jets versus all the other ones.
I'm done with this. Close halftime.
Yeah.
So
it's a little hard to win titles when you're fucking racing Ricky Carmichael and Chad Reed and all those guys.
Sorry, I don't know what to tell you, dude, but when you, like...
And how many of those dudes have 450 titles?
Okay. All right. I mean, the same amount that have them against Jet. Not a lot.
One of them, just Dylan.
Yeah.
Just Dylan.
So, like, I don't understand how you think making that a comparison there.
That brings us to the point that Jet's season is not better by that much if you believe it is better, but to me, that doesn't make it better.
Those two things
can we
would
admit that
be equal.
it's a little better? It's not equal to equal.
I still won't think Jets season because I look at all the guys he was racing outside of the top 5. I think it's a lot harder to go through the pack when you're racing dudes.
He's just got a shovel out, just digging.
Dude, just keeps digging.
Because I've said this since day one, since me and him had this conversation.
The thing is like you're gonna look back on the dudes that finished behind him there, and you're gonna be like, man, that guy was so good. Man, that guy was so good.
You think I'm gonna look back and
dude, we were just looking through Racer X Loretta Lynn vaults and guys I've never even fucking heard of, and he's like, dude, he was so good.
I know.
Because I watched him fucking ride. I've seen all these dudes, and you think about
Derek
all those
Drake's
dudes.
a good rider.
He is gonna.
What has Derek Drake ever accomplished? No offense to Derek Drake, he is a
He's got a TLD factory.
He's gonna tell us how good Garrett Marchbanks is in 10 years.
No, I'm not.
In 10 years, you're like, Garrett Marchbanks is a pretty good.
So Marchbanks is the only one on there that he's not going to. Other than that, every other dude on there, the other 5 that were in Jet season there that are in this spreadsheet here.
Dylan Ferrandis get in the Hall of Fame?
No,
I don't think so.
Does Shea Sexton get in?
Yeah.
Wow, that's bullshit.
No, it's
right now, if you want to talk about titles,
I mean, Dylan got more.
Than Chase?
Yes.
Oh, because I
want to count
the 250 ones. Yeah.
People forget how fucking good Dylan Ferrandis is.
I know. I've been saying that since he came over, but he's just another Frenchman to everybody else.
He's gonna win Daytona.
He didn't. Well, actually, he never won Daytona. He never rode East Coast.
Never won Daytona.
No, he didn't ride East Coast his rookie year.
Oh man, this is a good time.
2 250 Supercross titles, a 250 outdoor, and a 450.
But those don't count. Remember, those don't count.
Who said they don't count?
You.
When did I say they don't count?
Because they don't count when we're talking about this.
Yeah, that's a different conversation.
No,
He's just talking about how good it is.
Doesn't count.
Dude.
You gotta pick a side here. Does it count or does it not count? Because if it counts, then it counts in the fucking spreadsheet.
In what conversation? I feel like those are multiple conversations.
No. We're talking about how good guys are.
Oh, if we're talking about this conversation, then yes, 450 is the only thing that matters because they're on 450s. If you're talking about the totality of somebody's career,
I can't. Where's the line? Where's the line?
There are multiple
You're here. You are acting like a damn liberal.
There are multiple conversations.
You are acting like a damn
Jesus
liberal.
Christ.
I feel that Stu's season was so good because I had such a boner for Stu his whole career.
Aren't you saying the same thing about Jet all the time?
I feel that. I'm not feeling it. Statistically, it's better.
Charlie Kirk over here and a guy in the crowd.
You insert Jet Lawrence into every conversation.
Changed my mind.
You insert Jet Lawrence into every conversation, even
He did. He tried to insert.
He does. Even when he's not fucking relevant. You look like a fucking liberal right now. You can't handle the truth.
Eli Tomac and Jet Lawrence on the same team.
Oh my God, they're fucking great.
They're gonna say they want Mackers on the team, and next thing you know, he's gonna be on a Honda, dude.
My God,
we want Mackers on the team. Next thing you know, here we are. We're gonna have Eli.
You are the true liberal of this podcast. You are the true liberal.
True liberal.
The true liberal of this podcast.
Hey man, 250 or lights titles are freaking totally awesome. Wait, we're talking about perfect season stuff? No, they're not. They don't count. They don't count at all.
You can't have two different conversations. In the conversation of somebody's career,
we're talking about a conversation about how good people are, and you're like, yeah. So if we're talking about how good they are for their career overall, then the lights titles count. But if we're doing it as a comparison
on a 450 to a 450 outdoor season, yes.
Oh my God. It doesn't make any sense.
No, because the guys that Stu raced, none of them won 450 outdoor titles.
Yeah?
So I'm talking about in the totality of Jet racing guys that had 450 outdoor titles.
Then Jet's better because he had one.
Everybody else that's your marker.
Shit.
So because one guy had a title.
Well, if that's the comparison you're going on, everyone else had zero, so they're shit compared to his.
That's not my comparison.
I wasn't even trying to make a comparison on that alone, but if that's where you want to go.
I have a headache.
I'd like to be home by 9.
I have a headache.
Well, luckily for you, it's only 8:24, so we're rocking and rolling here.
I have a headache. This conversation is fucking stupid.
If this liberal over here would get his shit together,
I think if you would look back
to get on one side of the fence,
I will always think that Stu and Ricky's season is better than Jet's, and I've said that since day one, so I don't have to get over on any fence. That is the part of the fence.
Based on
I don't care about the numbers.
Okay, so you're basing it on feelings.
Yes, I will go on what I've seen because I've seen them all up close with my own eyes.
Okay,
I've watched them.
All right,
with my own eyes, and I will see them, and that's the way. I'm
gonna base it on numbers.
I don't give a fuck about numbers.
I'm gonna go off numbers.
I don't care about numbers.
I'm gonna look at those numbers. And go, wow, there was so many more.
That's cool, and you can do that. And just
10 titles in that.
Everybody else is entitled the way that they want to view things, and that's fine. Just like Deegan fans are entitled to their opinion of Deegan, and we all think that we disagree with them, but in their way of feeling things, we're wrong. So it's the same fucking thing. You want to have a psychological conversation, bud. You're gonna have a long day. You're gonna have a long day, bud. You're gonna have a long day.
You're gonna have a long day talking psychology with a psychologist.
You're gonna have a long day, buddy. You're gonna have a long day. We don't have time for that. And we don't get paid to do this podcast.
Hey, guess what? You're gonna have a long day.
I already have had a long day.
That's today?
Yes.
Doing what?
Fucking being here. Long day.
You've only been here for 2.5 hours.
Existing. Long day.
We're not coexisting.
I know it's difficult for you to talk about motocross shit.
Yeah, long day.
Well, hopefully you can persist for another 30 minutes here while we cover the rest of the show.
Jesus.
Unreal.
Jesus.
All right, so to wrap up the halftime report here,
Let's go.
Justin is basing all of his opinions on feelings, and I'm using facts. So there we are.
Those are numbers. Those aren't facts.
That's facts. Facts don't
Numbers
lie.
are facts.
Numbers are facts.
Is somebody that can be somebody, but you've never raced them, is that a fact?
What?
Has Garrett Marchbanks ever raced a prime David Villeman? No, that's not fact. You're going off numbers.
Numbers.
I'm talking about who I think, watching them in a race, would be faster than the other person, and that's what I'm going on.
I think Marchbanks could hang with Villeman.
I don't think so.
Rides, dude.
No, I definitely don't think so.
Yeah.
I think a prime David Villeman against a prime Garrett Marchbanks, not even
No,
close.
but that's an endless conversation.
Oh!
There's no thing to that.
Oh! Oh!
This has been talked about by guys way smarter than us. There's no end to that.
Oh, okay.
Bikes are different, tracks are different.
Oh my god.
Everything's different. You can't compare that.
Oh.
Yeah, like
Feeling
Garrett
is-
Marchbanks on a Club MX Yamaha 450 would kick the shit out of David Villeman on a Club MX Yamaha. But David Villeman on a factory YZ 252 stroke would kick the shit out of Garrett Marchbanks on a factory YZ 252 stroke.
Bingo.
Bingo.
That's been your Complete Racing
Jesus.
Solutions halftime report. I want
This
to thank y'all.
conversation's
I want to
so
thank y'all for
fucking
listening
stupid.
to this.
So fucking stupid.
The stupidest
We got any
motocross.
comments? We got
God,
Stupidest
dude. My
motocross show.
God.
Nope. The members are just enjoying it.
This conversation
Which is awesome.
so
Thank you,
dumb.
members, for being here with us. If you all want to watch us do this stupid show live, you can join the members area.
Please don't.
And watch me rub my eyes because I rub my eyes with a little bit of NANO.
You are so fucking stupid.
You are dumb.
So the NANO XTREME is burning my eyes right now.
Jesus.
God.
All right, let's get this 250 race recap brought to you by our friends at Flo Racing for all your small bore bike needs there. 125s, 85s, 65s, 50s. Have it all. You are so stupid, dude. What are
You don't get a
doing?
microphone, you fucking moron.
Jesus, I can't believe you wiped your eyes with that.
God, fucking evolution isn't real.
You could have gone out there and used the simple green to wash your hands.
Jesus.
Dude.
This reminds me of the one time that I was eating.
drive him home here.
This reminds me of the one time I was eating at a Mexican place and I fucking had hot sauce on my hand and I wiped my eyes on accident.
You can't even open his eyes, dude.
Unreal. Yeah, all right. Yeah, here, cue the guy in the fucking comments. Oh, that guy in the hat's on perks. Remember that shit?
Your eyes definitely would not look like
I'm
that.
on
if you
NANO
were-
XTREME.
Your eyes would not look like that if you were on Percocet.
Yeah, psychologist.
All right, here we go. 250.
I've seen people on Percocet, it's not you.
VL gets a win.
Pulls it out of his.
Kind of solidifies the season, I guess, here by getting a win.
Pulls it out of his hat.
He wins this title.
Look.
Oh, he's gonna win the title.
No, did I just say that?
Well, he won Daytona, so.
He did win
I said he didn't win it this
last
year.
year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
won it
last
last year.
Dude,
No.
I didn't expect him to perform, especially after that crash in practice. I was like, oh, he's really fucked now. But
Yeah. That
Came
crash
out
was
and just-
gnarly.
made it happen. Got a good start, capitalized on the other guys getting bad starts, and then I don't know if the pit board told him or he's probably just like, I gotta win no matter what mindset and
Well, he said he could see Seth at some point.
making his way through.
Yeah.
I wish this Tom showed up to every race.
I mean, is that Tom? Oh, you want to talk hypotheticals? If they started out front together, like Tim Ferry and Garrett Marchbanks together.
David Villeman, you little bitch. Why don't you open your eyes a little bit better, you stupid ass?
Damn, dude, hostile over here.
Dude, settle it down.
Tough crowd.
God.
Do you feel like Hammaker, like outright speed would be
Yeah,
better than
no,
McConnell?
yeah, I mean, I think Seth has pretty much proved that on the East Coast, I think he's the fastest.
He's the
dude.
fastest guy
Yeah,
right
yeah.
now with
Yeah,
Levi
right
and
now.
those guys out. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you could even say that even with Levi there, I think it'd be, I think it'd be tough.
Big Levi guy here.
Big
too.
Levi guy.
No, I think that Seth would be faster than him. I think what he did in that heat race, and then just some of the stuff he's done in qualifying, and then what he did in East Rutherford. I mean, he's clearly, obviously, taken a next step. So no, I'm not saying that had Seth started in front, Tom would have been able to pace him. I think Seth probably would have done what he did in East Rutherford.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, there was just a level of aggression that I've been on Tom about this year that he showed last night that I don't think he showed up with in a couple of these rounds.
Yeah, I've never seen him slide in front of somebody like he did Thrasher.
Yeah, so I mean, dude, you go into the last round, East West shootout, like it's I don't know, man. Like you know how to win titles. It's only 1 point. Would I like to see Tom get a title, another title? Yes. I really want to see Seth get the title because I think that it would prove all the hard work he's been putting in. But yeah, that's tough. That's tough. That's a tough one to go against Tom getting the title, like betting against him. The only downfall is that if Tom wins this title, we all know he's got to go to the 450 next year. So it's like, what do you do then? You know. But
He's excited to go to the 450.
I mean, he says that now.
This is what he said in the presser.
Yeah,
he was asked.
They all say that.
He's excited.
RJ,
if he has to.
I mean, I don't doubt that he's not excited, but it's just a bummer that he's got to go this early into his career over here.
Something that how old is he?
24, 23.
He can go to a 450, no matter what side of the pond you're on.
That's how old Chase is.
No, I mean like how relatively new he is to the United States, and he already has to go quick.
Just go.
Just do it.
Just go.
Not like Nike. Just do it.
Just do it.
Wow, glad you guys
make that life-changing money instead of $300,000 a year. Let's make $800,000.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Tom's gonna make 800. I don't think.
So. What's he gonna make? 0?
I don't think he's gonna make 800.
When things are going, but dude. Here's another thing that kind of factors in. Just if you want to go off the numbers, the data here.
Yeah, I would. Thank you.
Mr. Vial does perform a little better when Deegan's in the field.
You're not wrong. He's not wrong.
See all the bullshit talk from people in the comments after that one.
Well, we can't go a show without bringing up Deegan.
I mean, we're gonna probably bring him up before the end of the show.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not wrong, but
I ain't wrong. I ain't never wrong.
He also got beat in Philly by Deegan.
Well, you know.
And Deegan really has nothing to do with his title this year.
Yeah, he'll still find a way to talk shit to him.
Yep. Deegan or Tom?
You tell me.
All right, Thrasher second.
Didn't pull a Thrasher.
I'm pumped for a Thrasher. A Thrasher second is just.
You're a pumped.
This is because we
How many
usually
Thrasher
win.
seconds have you seen?
Like 2.
We either win, we're 8th, or we're out of the race.
Yeah, 100%.
So
I feel like Nate's been solid the last couple weekends, to be honest with you.
yeah, well, you know,
They have been very good.
fingers better. So
Still running them handguards.
still running the handguards.
Maybe he just rocks it. He's a handguard guy from here on
the
out.
handguard guy.
Just a handguard guy.
I mean, I like them. It's like wearing sunglasses to
At
talk
nighttime?
to a chick, right?
At nighttime?
You feel a little more confident
Just
when you
feel
got
confident
sunglasses
with
on.
the sunglasses because
Yeah,
they can't see your eyes. They can't tell you're looking at their boobs instead.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
If you're going off the numbers.
If you're going off the numbers.
so if you're going off the numbers,
You really can go off the numbers with Nate Thrasher.
if you want to go off the numbers, 2 handguards is better than 1.
Yes. Yes.
Exactly.
Exactly.
All right, Bull in third. Also
Very
handguard
with a
guy.
handbrake.
Very impressive.
With a handbrake. Very impressive with a handbrake.
Freaking wiener.
How many? Every time they brought the handbrake last night, I just
All I could hear was.
I could not help but just laugh.
That's Mr. Awesome leaving on Rev Limited.
I just could not laugh because all I could think of was you two fucking boneheads just thinking like, especially if you were around somebody.
Arguing over the handbrake.
Travis gonna be like, that shit's fucking easy.
Dude, so is it bad that I was listening to the presser and somebody asked him like, yo man, you've really overcome some obstacles with the handbrake, blah blah blah, and all I could think is like, it's not that bad!
All I could think about was you
yeah, riding straight down the road. It's not that bad.
I just kept thinking about you two assholes, just like anybody that will listen, like, yeah, it's not that hard. Cold being like, this shit's stupid. Travis is dumb.
Yeah. We're gonna put a handbrake on mine.
Because it got brought up so much last night, and maybe it's because he was for the first time been in a podium spot, so like they had to talk about it.
Podium period for him though.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Which is also ridiculous to this
awesome
point.
for Club MX. Awesome for Handbreakers Worldwide.
Handbreakers Worldwide.
And
ooh, that's a t-shirt.
awesome for him.
Text Emily.
I like how you just go text Emily.
Handbreakers Worldwide.
We're gonna put a handbrake on a bike, and then we're gonna go down to Kev's, and we're gonna find the closest triple to the corner.
We're gonna go to Club MX and ride the actual bike.
Oh, yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen. I thought we were just feeling like we're gonna go down to Kev's house, find the closest triple to a corner, and we're gonna tell Travis to hit it,
and then make the corner.
and then make the corner without completely high siding the shit out of it.
Hold on.
I would even give you a double into the corner.
You want me to double in? You want me to double into?
No,
a
I want you
section?
to 3 in.
You want me to 3 into a section?
I want you to 3 in.
You realize
Even if you gotta cut the track to get the drive to 3 in.
I want you to double through section, still make the corner, hit the rut.
in the infamous words of Phil, 3 in's not a thing for me, brother.
Okay, double into a corner, lay it into
Blitz
the
the
rut.
whoops.
Well, you guys think I use the brake a lot. No, I just let the natural flow of the track.
He just engine brakes the whole track.
Yeah, basically.
It's kind of how Bolin probably has had to learn how to ride.
God, that's gotta
It's
suck,
very simple.
man.
It's called finger banging. You just finger bang.
Dude, his fingers are so
What with the
strong.
clutch?
Huh?
What about operating the clutch?
Right here.
Into a corner.
Right here.
Into a corner.
Okay.
Ass under the bike, kick sideways, going into the corner.
What do you mean?
Say maybe he hangs a wheel going into the corner.
Okay.
What are you doing?
I don't know what I would do with a normal foot brake, let alone with a handbrake.
Okay, boom, point proven.
So
He's doing shit with a handbrake that you can't even do normal.
It's honestly
but I could do it with a handbrake too.
It's
Oh my god.
It's honestly like, to me, it's a shock. The first, maybe probably
handbrake gate.
the first time he came into he did a whole shot with that, and he didn't come into the first turn and just completely lock the brakes up and just stall the shit out of it. Because I could just imagine him going in and just fucking everything and just locking that bitch up in the back and going, phew.
I don't know, dude. I think it's impressive.
I think it's impressive.
You're in
Fucking Jason Britton over here doesn't get too.
You're in dealerships all the time. I have handbrakes. Find us a line that will go from
Oh my god.
the front to the back. We'll put it on. I'll ride with it. It's no problem. To be honest, I'll probably be way better.
Yeah, you can ride with it, but you ain't jumping no jumps.
I'm
and
building a
you ain't-
Supercross section at the house.
By the numbers, you can't.
I'm building a Supercross section at the house.
The numbers say you won't.
The numbers say I will. Find a line that will go from the rear
That was
caliper to the handlebar. I'll put a handbrake
That
on.
was actually the first time that comment actually made sense.
What?
The numbers as far as the money goes.
Anyway, Max Bolin, impressive deal.
Impressive. God, I hope he gets more podiums outdoors.
Yeah, dude, I think outdoors will be pretty good, but like, even first podium period, like.
Here's what I really want to know is
Oh
what
my
did
God,
they do
yeah.
for the handbrake setup at first that didn't work? Because they keep talking about the first one didn't work. I really got to know this. Like, I'm gonna text.
Do you know somebody from Club MX?
I might know a person, so
Okay.
I'm gonna ask tomorrow.
Idiot.
There's been so much aggression on this podcast.
All right. Anyway, RJ fourth.
I think we
Anybody?
just kind of
Anything?
talked about it, man.
Anybody?
The wrist is obviously holding him back because that ain't the raw balls out RJ that we see.
Crazy thing is RJ was just riding his moto, man, and just
He's
somehow
just cruising.
a fucking tough block just found him.
Well, he said he was kind of worried about what a lapper was going to do, right?
Yeah. That's
You mean
what
like
I
Austin
said.
Fortner?
Well, that's.
But that was
another-
Seth.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
When it's time.
So yeah.
So yeah, right now, the numbers are in RJ's favor.
Look, man. Here's the
I
one
think
thing
he's not.
though.
I think he's
The
not.
last person I want to go into a winner take all round
Is with RJ.
against is RJ.
See, I feel
Because
like he's out right now.
the pressure doesn't get to him, and B, he will just effing send it.
Then
He's
gonna
like,
get
I
into-
got to get this fucking thing fixed anyway.
Bro, then he's gonna get into it with Deegan. It's gonna be a whole thing.
Every time he's been in the danger zone, he explodes.
Which is
This
weird.
sounds so
Is this gonna be like a Chase Sexton Jet Lawrence thing? Like every time
Maybe.
RJ's in the Deegan zone, his head just blows up.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Because like he squids out every time he's around Deegan.
Yeah, it does.
He wants to beat him that bad.
Should roll his bars forward.
All right, so Seth had a great ride.
I rolled my bars back today, and it was amazing.
I mean, you're not
Ricky
like a
style.
super-
Ricky styles is like in your lap.
They're not super Ricky, but they're half Ricky.
Nah, man, if you're Ricky style, you got no sweep. That bitch is like straight across like a fucking board.
You're tightening all 4 bolts in front of the crossbar.
Jesus.
Facts.
All right, Seth gets fifth. and
Don't know how you didn't die the
hell
first
of a
4
ride,
laps.
dude. I don't know either, man.
Yeah, you could definitely tell he ain't been in the back of the pack in quite a while.
Nope.
Which-
Because he had no idea what he
There was
doing.
parts of me, man, like when he got in the Hardy Munoz party zone, like, bro, I about broke my TV, man, because I was like, if Hardy fucking lands on Seth, I swear to God.
And that's on Seth.
Yeah.
No, it
That's
is.
on Seth.
I mean, yeah, you get so used to riding at the front for a certain amount of time.
I really thought there
the
for
Kobush thing was kind of on Seth too.
It was.
I really thought there. I was like, oh, this is the round that we're gonna have a Seth moment.
But he even said, though, apparently he
I
didn't.
don't know how he held on to it.
I don't know.
He,
either.
I mean, dude, he almost got horizontal. Like, he got so pitched sideways, he almost went
And
flat.
just
But I mean, he even said though, he's like, dude, I felt like he took all like it was. He took all.
Yeah.
He was like, dude, I felt like a sea rider. I didn't know what I was doing.
yeah.
But I
I'm
mean,
glad he gathered it back together.
but the angle, I don't know if you, from a back view, like it wouldn't look as bad, but from the aerial view of the drone with Hardy,
Oh,
I don't know about you guys, but I thought Hardy was
close.
landing on it.
Yeah, that was close.
And I was like, oh, fuck.
Yep.
Here we go.
Um,
Salvage points, though, man. That was, I mean, dude, if he wins this title, I think he's going to look back to that ride and
I
go,
mean, the whole
that
thing.
won it.
The whole thing is you just go back to Detroit and the food poisoning,
Yeah.
and you're like, bro, he gets fifth in that. Let's just say fifth. I mean, he's a 10. He's got a 10+ point lead.
And it wasn't even a Seth thing. It was food poisoning.
Yeah.
Like,
so,
Seth didn't really Seth at all this year.
No,
but, I mean, that's a credit to...
So
Don't put that out there.
after seeing what Seth has done with his transformation, being at the dog pound or whoever you can credit that whole program to, who's the next guy to go there and get one?
I don't know.
Go get a makeover.
I mean, Hymus is there, but I don't think... Bless you. I don't think... Bless you. I don't...
Surtech?
Who?
Yep. You. Zyrtec.
I think Hymus's issues have really nothing to do with technique. I think if you watch him, I think he's just... I don't want to say he's frail, but he just, like, his body's one of those guys that he just gets hurt.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know who would be. I mean, definitely not Tiger Wood.
Yeah, that's not working.
No. But I mean, who? I don't know. I think that final round is going to be crazy. But I hate to say it. I think that I don't have confidence that RJ gets it done. I think it's between Seth and Tom. I know that RJ's only 3 back, and that's not me hating on RJ because it'd be cool to see him get a title. Everything he's been through in the last year. But because of what you just said, that he likes to send it too much, I don't think Salt Lake's the kind of track you want to send it on.
We'll see.
I mean, Seth has the stuff going in there. He's won a what's it called already?
Yeah, and East West.
Yeah. So
Yeah, he's in the best
really,
space.
yeah, it really favors him. Hymus was 6th there. Is he a guy that just like never lives up to the potential?
Outdoors, he does.
I think, the whole plan this year was get through Supercross
Yeah.
and be a contender outdoors, and then the mud race kind of changed it for
Which
one
is
round.
dumb.
Yeah.
It's so dumb. I think outdoors he lives up to the hype.
Yeah, speaking of dumb, like Dayton Briggs looks like an idiot.
Yeah, of course it does.
Why?
Well, at the mud race, he led like the first how many
Oh,
laps, and then was
That
all
is-
over social media, like, almost won my first
Yeah.
race, and he hasn't even been making any night shows.
I mean, you could look at Ty. Masterpool's the same way, though. Masterpool's
Yeah.
going to be an outdoor guy. There's just guys that are better at outdoors.
Yeah, we'll see. Colin Parks 7th.
Is he still 4th in points? No,
Yeah,
Thrasher.
Thrasher. This is like a Cody Shop thing from last year.
Yeah.
He got thrashed.
Yeah, he is 5th in points right now.
Cody Shotson's good outdoors.
Get that man. Yeah, he is.
I got a
Get
scary feeling.
Colin Park an outdoor ride, bro.
Yep. Henry Miller 8th. Devin Simonson 9th.
That dude Simonson is actually pretty damn
He's
impressive.
gotten really
We're
good.
coming off the couch, basically.
Yeah, he's
He-
gotten really good.
For a kid that could barely make mains only 2 years ago. Granted, he was doing it in the 450 class, so that adds extra strength to that.
Yeah.
He's good.
Yeah.
And
Glad he's getting a shot.
Yep.
God, he's really good outdoors too, man. You look at that team outdoors; it's going to be solid.
Yep. Bryce Shelley 10th.
Cool for him.
Isaiah Clark 11th. Aiden Shive 12th.
All right, so no offense. Now it's crazy that now we're getting to the point that how stacked East was, and all these guys are good. But
East
start-
isn't stocked.
It's not stacked anymore. But you think about the guys that are out.
I feel like this is
Max,
like-
Pierce, Dax.
I feel
Levi,
like that's
Cam.
the way it always goes with like the 250s though. They start out, you're like, one coast is really stacked, one coast is kind of and then by the time you get to the end, it's like once you get outside the top 5, you're like, who the hell are these
Yeah,
guys?
you got Caleb Chowderhut just bringing in 12.
Could you imagine though, like if all those dudes wouldn't have got hurt? Like I said,
Oh,
Levi,
yeah.
Cam. You start looking at Casey Cochran would have been there. Max, Pierce, Dax.
Yeah.
All these dudes, Jalik
Ryder
Swole.
D.
All these dudes would have been there.
I got to sneeze really bad, but I can't get it out.
He's having a rough night.
At least you can open your fucking eyes.
You got something I can go blow my nose somewhere?
Rubs Nano on his thing.
Oh,
On his
hey.
eyes.
You rubbed Nano.
Not sponsored.
You rubbed Nano on your thing. You rubbed Nano on your thing. That was a bad idea.
Nano in his eyes. He's got to sneeze. Can't sneeze.
All right.
Let's keep going here. Rod Bell 13.
Dude, look at all the dirt that came out of my nose.
That's awesome.
Disgusting.
That's
I
awesome.
think Justin Rodbell should ride 250 more often.
I think so too. Trevor Collop 14th. Austin Faulkner 15th. Can't catch a break.
Hey, he's alive though. The flashes are there.
Yeah.
He's alive.
Yeah, we did see some Austin
We've
Faulkner
seen some
flashes.
flashes.
So that's
Top 5
cool.
in qualifying.
He did make a post on Instagram today, another kind of vulnerable post that he's been kind of known for lately. It was just like, hey, like I can hang my hat on. Last night I hit the tough block, went down, then I got taken out by another rider, and I still finished.
Was it Colin Park?
I don't know. Those two got some Some beef.
I don't know, but that A-Stars blow-up thing needs to hit the bricks.
Lance Kobush 16th, Hardy Munoz 17th, Jack Chambers 18th, Jack Rogers 19th, Vincent Lahove 20th, Matty Jorgensen 21st, and Luke Neese 22nd. 250 race recap brought to you by our friends at Pro Flo
Want to
Racing.
talk SMX next? I don't.
Nope.
Alexander Fedortsev, just he's going to be the next Afghani Bobby Trev.
Okay. Rev X
X
segment.
Yeah, there's
The
one.
X-rated distance.
There's one for Uncle Justin in here.
Okay. Yeah, here we go.
That's
Uncle
hot.
Justin.
That's cool.
Okay.
I think we've answered this one before, but NL Mac Legacy. Let's assume Webb gets his third SX title. Where does his slot, or where does he slot in legacy wise? I know people knock him for not having a 450 MX title, but with 3 Premier Class titles, I think he slots around the Jeff Emmett category.
Oh, I think he's
Top
better.
opinion.
I think he's better than Emig.
Really?
Yeah, I think he's better than Emig because Emig only won one Supercross title and what is it, the one or two outdoor
He
titles?
won one outdoor because McGrath fucked his foot up in the
Yeah, so he's got 2, but it's like you look at Coop and especially how many years he has titles in that short of time. I mean, I've always been a Jeff Emig fan, but I think you got to take Coop in that category. I think that if you start looking at like the Mount Rushmore, he's not on that, but I mean, he's definitely
He's a lot closer than Emig.
and he's also got to be top 10 all time.
I mean, if you want to go off titles, he's looking.
Hold on, pause. Are we going off numbers or feelings?
Feelings,
Feeling?
yeah.
Okay. If
Still
we're, going
can't
off, if we're going off numbers, he's got Stu beat.
Numbers?
Yeah.
Well, not wins.
But titles.
Titles, yes. No.
What does he
no,
always say?
Yeah, titles.
What's he always
they're
say?
titles. They're gonna be,
Titles are what count.
no, they're going to be tied.
Unless we're talking
They're
about
going to be tied for
perfect
50 titles.
season.
They'll be tied for 50
Yeah,
titles.
but the Supercross, 3 Supercross over
2 Supercross and 1 outdoor?
Yeah.
I mean,
3 Supercross would trump.
I bet if you asked Stu if he'd trade that outdoor for another Supercross title, I bet you'd 100% say yes.
probably. But it just shows that Stu can get it done.
But it
both.
was undefeated.
I don't give a shit about the fact that it was undefeated. An outdoor title is an outdoor title. So is a Supercross title.
Anyway.
Titles are titles.
Okay, yeah, that's my thoughts. Better than Jeff Emig.
Yeah, I think so too.
Alright. Another one from NL Mac. Keep it in your pants here.
To me?
Yep. Keep
Oh,
it in your
Jesus
pants.
Christ. Why
Wow,
is
this
this?
is
Why is everybody
Justin.
asking me questions?
Justin, with Triumph announcing Harrop coming for the
Mikael Ellup.
coming for a full season of Pro MX.
Mhm.
Where does he slot in coming from the GPs? 6 to 12? Yes. Or is he someone we should expect banging bars inside the top 5 each moto?
I mean, I think it'd be 5 to 10. I think we talked about this when I put it in the group
We
chat.
weirdly agreed on this.
Yeah, I think 5 to 10. I mean, the thing about Harrop is there was times last year where he was pacing Coonan and DeWolf, but then there was other times where he kind of was in his own head the whole weekend and he'd get like 5th or 6th, which is fine. But like there's going to be flashes of brilliance and there's going to be other weekends where you're just going to go, what the fuck? And I think everybody throughout the industry is kind of, because that question is now out there, like, what's he going to do? What's he going to do? And I think everybody's like, he's going to be really good some days and there's going to be other days where he's just kind of battling 5 to 10, which I think is fine for him because you talk about a dude that's literally here for 1 year and he knows he's never coming back. Like, Harrop has no intentions of coming to the States. He doesn't care about it being here. He doesn't care about Supercross. He rides outdoors and that's all he cares about. So after this year's up, he's going back to the GPs and you'll never hear from him again over here. He doesn't care. So, like, him getting 5th, I mean, I don't know if you ask him if he wants to win, but, like, him getting 5th, I think it's an upside for Triumph all around.
If he does well and wins a bunch of money, I bet he stays.
No, because he won't ride Supercross.
Yeah.
Triumph's not going to pay him just to ride outdoors. He will not ride
Maybe
Supercross.
we'll
Like,
see SMX only contracts coming in.
I mean, maybe. I tell you what, though, you talk about another dude that will not give 2 shit here. Cue the comments about
Here
Deegan.
we go.
Will not give 2 shits about Deegan.
without mentioning Deegan, can you?
Yeah, 2 shits.
Once you get in that danger zone.
Well, danger zone. You talk about another kid that doesn't give 2 shits about Hayden Deegan. God, I hope they get into it. I really hope they get into it. Because unlike Tom, Mikkel's not scared. He's also bigger than Deegan.
Oh, he's bigger than him. He's going to whoop his ass.
No, he's bigger than him. It's going to be a lot harder for Deegan to, move him around.
He's going to grapple him, dude.
He might grapple him. I don't know. He's from Denmark. People live wrestle a lot.
Alright, anyway. That's it for that one. Nick Furman should Supercross Futures contend as a points championship or keep it as winner
Yes.
take all? Yes, it should be points.
Should be
All day.
points. Should be half the races. There should be 8 of
Shouldn't
them.
get a number 1 plate. That's
No.
cooler than the 450 Supercross 3rd place trophy.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah, 100%. This is a primarily agreed upon thing across most of the media people I've listened to over the last month. It's been talked about.
Ooh, I like the second half of this one, but
Okay.
it's going to come back to Feld not going to be able to sell sponsorship with this. But he's like, should the white post markers for the split lane last night be the outline for the entire track? Well, outdoors, yes, for the most part they are. But
No, they shouldn't be, because the guys just run them over anyway.
right.
And we don't have enough people to keep track of it.
I think he's talking a solution to the dumb dick duff blocks.
I think we should just put wooden posts like the old days. Fuck it.
Speaking of tough block stuff here,
Sign
can we
waiver.
pause that first 250C group? How about the kid fucking
Did you see that
hitting
dude
that
overshoot
net?
the fucking
Yeah,
finish line?
and then clothesline himself on the net?
And then another guy came through
Well,
and fucked
no,
himself
that
up?
was the second guy. So the first guy just kind of like went over, slid
He
down,
lawn
whatever.
darted the fucking
But
thing.
the other guy, like, literally Spider-Man himself in there, like, off that berm and just boom.
Yeah, and then the
Like,
bike
it was
did a
gnarly.
360 and almost took out the dig dug.
Pretty sure that kid Tony Usko's from around this part of the country.
Was it Tony Usko?
Yeah, it was. He was the kid that fucking. He was the kid that.
I know it's Tony. You know,
It's Tony Usko.
you know what funds is racing?
Huh.
The big OF. Zachary Ruth, by the way, the next one. Does it make sense if at least one of the 3 SMX rounds are held at an outdoor track? Put 2 to 3 Supercross sections in them. And now, because the SMX rounds each year, to me, are becoming more and more, there's 3 more Supercrosses at the end of the year. Give us actual hybrid.
To an extent, yes. It would make sense, yes, but it's not going to happen. We're going to a completely drag strip model.
I just have a question since we're talking about
It's not
this.
going to be too many more years. We'll start seeing
Probably a good
Supercrosses
model.
we'll start seeing Supercross at drag strips.
I think either way is cool, and I know that they've come out with the track maps, but we all know those are changed as they get there. But I still do not understand, even though it's going to be cool to see, St. Louis, how you're going to do a hybrid track in a stadium.
They're going to shoot them into the convention center, dude. You're gonna
But that doesn't make a hybrid track to me. A hybrid track is like what you're talking about with the, like, it being on the drag strips.
Yeah, I understand.
But I don't see how they're going to be able to make it feel like you're going to look at it and you're going to go, this is just a Supercross track and we went outside the stadium or went in the hallways.
We're going to see.
So it's just going to be like I think it's cool that they're going to St. Louis, but it's going to be a Supercross track to
The
me.
thing is like that convention center where we went in there or whatever. So once they get them down the hallway, I mean, that is like essentially another stadium there.
Yeah.
So there's like a lot of floor space
There is
to
a lot
do,
of room in
to
there,
do
yeah.
some more jumps. And like you can actually do jumps. Like, yeah, if you were just shooting up and down hallways, that would kind of suck, kind of like going up in the bleachers or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that you get over there and now you've basically got almost like half a second stadium is going to make it, I think, a lot better. I'll be interested to
Where do
see
they
it.
put the semis and shit, though?
I don't know where that's going. I can't remember. I feel
We
like
don't
I
want
heard
those
some-
outside in St. Louis.
I hope it looks. I hope it's good because I'm gonna tell you what, man. To me, that's either one of two ways. It's either gonna be really, really cool and it's gonna go well, or it's gonna go the other way and be
Yeah.
really fucking bad.
Well, like I said, from what I've heard some things. Now they're trying to go to a thing where like we're going to be at drag strips a lot,
Stupid.
which doesn't surprise me.
I hate that.
There's lots of behind the scenes stuff we could get into with that, which I don't really want to.
The fact that we're not going back to Chicago Speedway still to me is bewildered because that not only was the setup sick, the dirt was sick,
Mhm.
and the track was sick, and
Yeah.
the layout.
Chicago was really
Make
good.
that free reign or whatever they want to do.
And-
with that facility.
I don't think there was one person after that round that had anything bad to say about that track. I mean, you can talk about like how one line it raced by the end of the night, fine. That's also factored into it. But I think as far as like the way the traction
I don't
was,
think it was one line. Roxon got by Jet.
see there he did it again. He somehow inserted Jet into this conversation. I wasn't talking about Jet.
I'm just saying. The track.
All right,
was
anyways,
one
I'm gonna
line.
look at
Roxon,
you.
Roxon passed
Yeah, what a
Jet.
fucking chode.
Gaze me.
I don't think anybody had anything bad to say about that.
Okay, what else we got?
That's it.
That's it. Rev X segment there.
Yeah,
Okay.
we slacked and posted it up late. So thank you to the
Thank
four
you,
that
guys.
did
Yes.
drop something in there.
Okay, a couple questions for you guys.
Oh boy.
Weston coming.
Who wins the 250 race this week?
Davies.
Davies?
I would like to see Cole Davis.
I'm gonna go with Cole Davies.
I'll be curious to see what Juju does though. Now that we're back on the hard shit
Yeah,
and we're away from the ruts
interesting.
finally.
That'd be interesting.
Not saying that he's
Finally
gonna.
get Oboy back.
I mean, maybe. Wouldn't it be? I don't think it's going to happen. I do believe that Davies is going to win. But how crazy would it be, though, that now we're back on the dry, hard shit, that Juju all of a sudden just finds back. He just finds his early form, and he just goes out, and he's like at the top of the board and wins the main.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll happen. It'd be cool, but I think Davies gets it done.
Okay. Are you both coming next week?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, cool. I want to ask the next. I want to ask the next question.
Are we doing Daniel Blair show?
No, I want to ask the next question.
I want to talk to Daniel.
Why? Ask us.
Why?
What?
Ask us. Put them on the crossbar pad.
Well, no. I mean, I was just gonna ask a question, but it's not. It doesn't pertain to the last round, so it's fine. Who gets it done in 450s this week?
Chase.
I think Webb's kind of get second.
Percentage.
No offense to Coop. Have we talked about this?
Percentage Coop wins this title.
Oh. 75.
It's 80-20 now.
Okay.
No offense, and I think we touched on this. Like, even if Coop wasn't in manage mode, I don't think Coop can beat Chase on a dry track.
All right.
I mean, he can, but I don't.
You beat him on a dry track last night, you dipshit.
Really? Is it going to be as dry as Denver, you fuckwad? Poo Groove, you bitch? Fuck out of here.
Okay,
Fuck out of here.
We're going to go ahead and just mute you guys there. All right, this has been episode number 304.
You
I
little
want to
bitch.
thank our members for joining us over here. Thank you all who are watching on the replay. Really appreciate it. Thanks to Rev X Products for presenting the show. Thanks to NANO Extreme.
You want some more?
Thanks. Jesus, you two. Thanks to Worx. Thanks to Flo Racing. Thanks to Holster Co. Thanks to TLR Coatings. Thanks to Complete Racing Solutions. Thank you to you two for coming in.
Yep.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thanks for having us. I don't know why, but
God.
Look, next week I'll try not to have a 45-minute trying to set up a multi-angle thing going before we get started here. Okay?
yeah, the production value might go up.
Might go up. We've got a multi-angle thing here. I just couldn't quite figure it out in the allotted time prior to this starting. So, look, man, I got here at like 4:30.
There's a fucking Rager going out on the driveway when I got here.
Well, I had one dude picking up parts. I had them dropping off that 4Runner for me to do the wheels on. So, I was busy. I was trying to do those, and then in between I was trying to get this set up, and it just didn't quite work. Yeah, so, yeah, and that's not counting the 100 Milwaukee knives I took apart yesterday.
It's hot.
No, it's not.
Sounds
boring. But, like, taking them apart is
That's why he
boring.
was live streaming while he was doing it.
Love coding. Not yet. I will when I put them together.
No, you were doing it during while you were watching qualifying. That's what you were dinking around with. Was it not?
Oh, yeah, I was.
Yeah, some guy made a comment about it.
And the reaction show, too, yeah, because some guy on the reaction show was like, oh, man, you got to tell us what those metal things were. I was like, dude, just some stupid Milwaukee knives. I was just taking them apart. I got them sorted into pieces now so I can get them coated this week. So there's only like 50 orders that I got to do in between
You're making money, it's fine.
everything else. Yeah, it's great. So
Got a nice problem to have.
He's rich.
yeah.
How about that?
Yeah, well, let's not go there. All
Sell
right,
a kidney and then it's gonna be.
this has been episode 304. I want to thank everybody, and we will see you all next week.
Thanks for tuning into the Moto Aftermath Show. If you guys like the show, make sure to give us a thumbs up there with that like button. Also, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell notification so you never miss a show update, a live show, or anything that we're doing here, because when we find out news, we will be on here bringing you our thoughts with it. Also, if you guys want to help support the show, join our members area. You'll get member exclusives, including live shows. You get to watch the show being recorded live, and you'll get all sorts of other member benefits. So thanks everybody for tuning in. Join the members area, subscribe. We'll see you all on the next one.